You don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed if you have hemorrhoids. By the age of 50, more than 50% of Americans suffer from this painful condition. Thankfully, the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville offers a non-invasive, non-surgical solution. IRC, or infrared coagulation, is a quick and painless laser procedure that shrinks and eliminates 90% of hemorrhoids. And best of all, IRC is covered by most insurance plans. If you're living with hemorrhoids, call the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville at 865-588-9952 to schedule a consultation. That's 865-588-9952. The Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center. Expertise you can trust.
A place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing their new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. A place where you belong.
Deep down the middle's got his man, and he's gone. Jason Swain, touchdown.
It's time for the Swain Event.
It's my time.
With your host, Jason Swain. Real sports talk for the real sports fan. It's time for the Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Swain Event and SwainEvent.com. Fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Live from the Low T Center studio. The Swain Event. Ben McKee, Charlie Burris. Good morning, individuals. Hope you're having a great start to your Wednesday. Looking good, Ben. You look great, man.
Last night was rough. Those stupid storms kept me up.
What are you, like 7?
Yes, man. Those storms were awful. And then
Go to sleep, man. Close your eyes.
I did. I fell asleep about 12:40, and then I found myself up at 1:45 because of the storms. And
I didn't know it stormed.
I hate you.
How old are you, Ben?
22.
I mean, at 22, the storms are supposed to help you sleep.
When the storms are absurd, they keep you up. I mean, I think it was more my house than it was the storms, because my house they're all like little townhouses, all connected.
Yeah.
And the walls inside the house are pretty solid. You can't really hear what's going on in the room next to you, but you can hear like what's going on outside. And my window is directly on the street, and so the wind was hitting my window along with the heavy rain for I don't even know how long. I ended up falling asleep, obviously, but it kept me up. And I tried a new workout last night from like 10 to 12. Went running on campus. So I got back and I was dead, and just a mixture of things in my body.
Is that why you have that hat on? So the people that's watching can't see how tired you are?
Yes, that, and I slept as late as I possibly could. So I did brush my teeth, but no shower for Ben this morning, if we're being honest.
That's good.
But I took one like at 12 o'clock, so
that's good.
7 hours ago.
That's okay. Hard to get dirty while you just laying there, but
yes, correct. I gotta keep my hair all walking.
Oh yeah, that's right. You gotta take it. That's right. I forgot. Got you.
I can't, unfortunately, I'm on my way there, but I can't wake up and just roll out of bed and rock.
I don't know why you and LeBron fighting it. Just come on.
Speaking of LeBron, I am 100% here for LeBron hating Nick Saban. 100% here for
Whose
that.
side you on here? Nick Saban versus LeBron?
I'm on LeBron.
This is going to be great.
This is going to
Two
be
of the
great.
most powerful dudes in sports going at each other with lawyers involved. Let's get it cracking, man. I might pop some popcorn for breakfast this morning. I'm for real.
I want to be on LeBron's side because it's Nick Saban, but LeBron is.
Yeah.
LeBron's being petty.
Yeah, I
come on, man.
I think
LeBron had this idea, and he actually moved on the idea. Everyone can have the idea, but when you start actually doing it, hey, maybe you have a case.
But while I will side with LeBron just because it's going up against Alabama and Nick Saban.
Team LeBron.
I'm Team LeBron too, but I mean I kind of agree with Nick Saban. Like I knew LeBron had the Players Tribune, but not once have I ever seen him do anything with a barbershop, a shop talk.
That's not a valid reason why you should continue just because you didn't see it.
I know, but I feel like I've keep up with the Players Tribune because I follow LeBron on social media and whatnot, and I see everything. And then Derek Jeter also has a big role in the Players Tribune, and I get there. I actually am subscribed to their emails because I think although it's athletes writing, I think they put out the best work out there simply because you don't get to see those stories or hear those stories unless it's from them. And I think that the athletes telling stories are the best stories out there. But I've never seen him do shop talk or chop talk or
let's go
barbershop talk. But I'm 100% here for LeBron James hating Nick Saban. Now we just need to get him down to Knoxville on the third Saturday in October and get him in a Tennessee jersey.
Yeah, he's not hating Nick Saban. I listened to an interview from him this morning. They played the Raptors last night, and he was like, I got a lot of respect for Nick Saban, but I'd be dang that I'm gonna let someone else use our idea. And hey, I had to trademark something. I had to send a cease and desist with the silly Butch Please stuff, and I don't know, man. I think LeBron might have a case. I think LeBron may win. We'll see. If he doesn't, that's too bad. But I'm rooting for LeBron James. Distract Nick Saban, LeBron.
Yes.
Distract him. This is what this is about, guys.
Yes.
It ain't about who's right or wrong. We need Nick Saban distracted. Butch Jones is down there. You got LeBron James sending letters through his lawyer. This is perfect. Distract Nick Saban.
We need those.
Distract him.
We need those Alabama beat writers asking Nick Saban about it every time they get a chance.
Man, they ain't gonna help. Nick Saban big boys them.
Yeah, they do. But still,
what you looking at?
Every little thing helps.
Nothing, sir. Nothing.
Chip away. We need Feinbaum to ask Saban about this at SEC Media Days.
Yes,
that's the next step. We need
Feinbaum. Not scared of Nick Saban.
Yeah, well, you're boys with Feinbaum now, so why don't you give him a call and
my boy, man.
Put in a word to Mr. Paul.
Tennessee love, both bald head,
He's a little more bald than you are. At least you have little stubs up there. He is. Well, I guess never mind. He's got the cul-de-sac going on.
He is far more bald than you, in fact.
Yeah.
I mean, he does have the cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
He does, yes.
Yeah, I mean that Paul is my boy, even though he ain't had me on the show in a long time.
I can't help you with that, brother.
I ain't been on the show in a while, man. I mean, Tennessee football, they still talking about Tennessee football, but they ain't brought a brother on since I was speaking that truth about what was going on here. But I mean,
If it makes you feel better, they haven't had the other guy on either.
oh yeah, they have. Mm-hmm.
No, I haven't seen him lately.
Yeah, they. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh yeah, he's been on there. Yep. Not me though. I thought we was cool, Paul. I thought we was cool, man. Maybe I need to get good in with Phyllis. Maybe Phyllis can hook me up a Melly. What's her name? Nelly, Melly,
Smelly.
I don't know, one of the two.
You're gonna get in good with Phyllis, huh?
Yeah. Well, she's an Auburn fan, right?
I thought she was Alabama.
I don't know which one of them.
I don't know. Forgive me for not being up to date on my Paul Feinbaum
Characters.
Not-
Yeah.
not
crazy,
Feinbaum guy.
crazy,
Yeah.
crazy listener
Yeah. Well,
trivia.
Oh well. All right, Team LeBron. Let's bring home this W because you ain't gonna win it on the court this year. Just saying. It's
Hey.
gonna be the Rockets or the Warriors. All right, let's get to the B-Dry waterproofing hotline this morning, and
Take a wild
I'm
guess.
gonna take a wild guess here. You didn't even tell me who it was. But I'm gonna take a wild guess here. Eeny, meeny, miny, Andy. Good morning, Andy. How you doing?
Good morning, fellas. How
Hey.
are you?
Hey, individual.
Something really started to bother me is I'm seeing a lot of people selling their season tickets.
Why you bother, Andy? You got yours?
Well, I know, but I'm like, I want to see that stadium packed full this year.
Well, Andy,
And-
this is the way it works, Andy. When someone gets rid of their season tickets, there's always someone like you that's going to get them.
Yeah, that buys them.
Well, that's true. I hope, they got a legitimate reason. I mean, that's like my aunt and my uncle. They had to sell they couldn't buy them because my papa is in a nursing home, and my aunt's getting ready to have to take care of him. So, I can understand that if you got a real reason. But if you're just doing it just because of the past, I don't know. That's just something that's really bothered me, but I ain't. That's done and over with. I got another question for you.
All right.
Are they going to have autographs at the orange and white game? Because I'm hearing they're going to do something in August for fan day.
I don't think. I haven't heard anything about them changing it. That's something that's been done before I got to Tennessee, when I was at Tennessee, and after I finished up at UT. And thanks for the phone call, Andy. Really appreciate it this morning. I don't see why they would change anything there when it comes to allowing the guys to autograph things for the fans. I'm just glad we got the players talking to the media. Man, we heard from Najee Warrior, heard from Drew Richmond, heard from Quartet Sapp. I mean, they didn't really say much, but they talked, and good to hear from those guys. They seem very tired. They look very tired, which is a good thing, which is a great thing. So I don't think anyone's going to change the autographs. I mean, that's something that means a lot to a lot of people, the fans, the young Tennessee fans out there. I remember being a player and signing autographs, and then years later, seeing a picture from that day, person saying, "Hey, man, thanks. You don't understand how much that meant." And I didn't at the time, but now I do. And that's a really, really, really cool moment for fans, for the young fans out there to get a chance to meet some of the Tennessee Volunteers. So
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to change, and hopefully it doesn't.
I definitely hope they don't axe that. That would be pretty disappointing. But honestly, they've been so close-lipped about everything, and we can kind of get into this in the next segment in terms of what the players have been saying and what Jeremy Pruitt has been saying. It's hard to exactly say what's going to go on here in the future. So
All I know is one of my favorite yearly traditions is coming up. Not the Masters, not the NBA Finals, not the Stanley Cup Finals, but the running of the Gumps. is right
yeah.
around the corner, and I cannot wait.
Oh, yeah.
The running of the Gumps is coming up, and I cannot wait.
That will not be changing.
Oh, yeah. You don't care about Phil Mickelson's shirt?
Nah,
You don't care about that?
I'm not a fan. Although I'm gonna need some. I hope Tiger has a big weekend because the world will lose its mind if going into Sunday Tiger's in a position to potentially win the Masters. The world will lose its mind. It'll be great for golf. I hope it happens.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. 865-200-5503. Take our first break of the day. Swain Event, fueled by Dead End Barbecue.
Hour one of the Swain Event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
Major store-wide savings and Better Mattress this month, plus a chance to get up to 40% off. Visit any Better Mattress to play in the March Madness Challenge. Customers get one basketball shot in store for up to 40% off select purchases. Everyone is a winner this March at Better Mattress. Get store-wide instant rebates on select purchases, including free pillows, sheets, and a mattress protector. A $300 value.
Cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call Criminal Defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300, 865-540-8300, and GarzaLaw.com.
You're listening to the Swain Event.
And you know this, man.
Check, check, check. Reroute. Orange barrel. Chicken Parmesan. See, what had happened was the press release went to the spam folder, and, the spam in my inbox, it's not connected. So
I missed something. Okay, I try to use that master's degree that I brag about constantly.
Two-time Charlie.
I like to use it and have the information that I need ready on hand, and I didn't have it. At 5:15 p.m. yesterday, Tennessee sent out a press release, and in my defense, I don't usually check my email after 5 o'clock on almost any day because I like to forget about work as much as possible at night to, spend time with my wife, yada, yada. I guess last night
that was smooth.
That was
smooth. That was a good one.
It's about the family, you know?
That's smooth, Charlie. That was good, man.
Last night I was admittedly I was at Jeremy Pruitt's press conference till 7. He was 30 minutes late getting into the press room, but
he's Coach Ball, man.
Either way, I should have seen this. Here is in the press release for the Orange and White game to Andy's question about signing autographs at the Orange and White game. UT officially announced that Tennessee will transition the autograph session, which has been a part of the Orange and White game in the past, to a date in early August during fall camp. The transition will give fans an additional opportunity to watch a Tennessee practice inside Neyland Stadium. Following the August Fan Day open practice, fans will have the opportunity to meet players and coaches and collect autographs. So that was my mistake. We said surely they'll still be doing the autographs. They actually won't at the Orange and White game, but it will happen just in August during fall camp at an open practice. Thoughts?
I don't care, one way or the other.
Well, it's easy to say you don't care.
It's a long-standing tradition.
I mean, as I can honestly, I can say I don't care. It doesn't affect me.
Yeah, we don't go and get autographs.
I don't get autographs.
Yeah.
But
what do you mean? Charlie's first in line.
If I was a fan that comes to the orange and white game, and I look forward to this every single year, I wouldn't be doing backflips.
I can understand that.
If I am coming out of town for the orange and white game, and I'm making plans for the orange and white game, and I'm bringing my kids, and I'm taking off work that Friday or something like that to come up here, I wouldn't be necessarily excited about it, because Tennessee fans, man, they come from all over. This is not a university that just feeds Tennessee, the residents of Tennessee. I think it's pretty cool that you opening up practice in the fall, allowing fans to get the autograph signed, viewing practice. I think that's cool. But I think it should be done in addition to the old way of having having orange and white open for autographs. We got to understand something where we're sitting. Ticket prices going up a little bit. This fan base, how they reacted over the Greciano and the season last year, I would be trying to give the fans more. Like more as much as possible right now. That's my thinking. And am I going to petition? Am I going to create hashtag? Am I going to complain on Twitter? Am I going to make this a big deal? No. But if you want to ask me the question, how I feel about it, I'll put myself in the shoes of a fan. And as a fan, there's no way I could be happy for or just not care. But Jason Swain here, who never gets autographs from players, who only just goes to the orange and white game to see his ex-teammates and alumni, Jason Swain doesn't care because it doesn't affect me like that. But that's not how I'm going to approach this. I'm going to put myself in the shoes of other fans, and I don't see how, as a fan, I would be excited about that.
I guess I'm not trying to blame it all on Jeremy Pruitt, but my point is, I guess you're going to have things like this happen when you bring in an outsider who has no recollection of what has happened in the past. Obviously, the Schiano stuff was national news, but when I say recollection of the past, he doesn't – I mean, he may now, but at the time when he was hired, he probably didn't have a full understanding of the relationship between the fan base and the administration. And so to him, it's just worrying about football, cutting out all the extra chaos, outside noise. So from Jeremy Pruitt's standpoint, I mean, it makes sense because you just want to get down to business and play football. You're a long ways behind Alabama, Georgia right now, behind Florida. You need to get down to business on the football field, and for him it's just about getting to the game rather than worrying about all the extra things going on. So I understand it. I mean, I guess this is a Jeremy Pruitt decision.
No, I'm sure
who else would it be?
As a player, I remember my first and second year, we had on the football field, and we'll get to Charles here, we were on the football field, and the positions were broken up on the football field. So receivers had one section of the field, and we stood there. And we stood there for an hour. So we stood there, signed autographs, and then we played a game. And that, I'll be honest, that stunk.
Yeah, I bet.
When we were able to sit down and sign autographs, that was cool. And one thing you don't want to do is sign autographs while it's 80 degrees, you know, you just exposed to the sun, and then go out there and play a football game. Because then you don't have that energy that you're supposed to have. That sun drains you. And then you don't want to be standing up for an entire hour and then play an orange and white game. So I do understand it from that standpoint. You know, if we can't put the guys in the shade sitting down, then I would rather not do it at all and just wait till the fall. But as I put myself in the position of the fans, it stinks. That stinks for them. That's an opportunity that you just don't get a lot of.
Yeah. To
be able to get an autograph from a player. And not all fans put stuff on eBay. I mean, this is just for maybe a man cave or for memories.
For a kid.
I think that stinks for him.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to Charles. Charles, good morning.
Hey, good morning, man.
Hey, how you doing?
All right. Swain, First of all, I got to say I love to listen to Jeremy Pruitt talk.
Me too.
I do, man. But listen, this is for all three of you guys. Can you guys not just feel the I don't want to say frustration, but just the way he talks to the media on how poorly coached this team really was last year. And without him really saying his ways, I look at his facial expressions sometimes during the pressers, and he doesn't give up a lot. But I think him trying to just strip away and put something in these guys' water to make them just say, forget everything you've learned in the last 2 or 3 years. I could just look at him and tell, man, he's frustrated without really saying he is. I think he sees some glimpses. And I literally got tears in my eyes right now, Swain, because I want to laugh so hard. But this team is so poorly coached. It's ridiculous, man. I know you guys. Swain, I know you know what I'm talking about.
I do know what you're talking about.
And he is just so. I don't think he realized then what he knows now.
Charles,
and
go ahead. Sorry.
It is a shame, but it's gonna take some time, people. It's gonna take some time.
Oh yeah.
This team was, and I'm gonna hang up and listen, guys. You guys have a great show, Sway. I'm gonna hang up and listen, but Sway, you know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna hang up and listen. You guys have a great show.
Y'all remember when Jeremy Pruitt left Florida State for Georgia, and what happened in Georgia? How Pruitt didn't necessarily get along with everybody in the building?
Yes.
Pruitt is disgusted with mediocrity. He's disgusted with that stuff. Like, it bothers him to the core. That's why he didn't last long in Georgia.
As it should.
Yeah, that's how it should. And that's why he got along so well with Nick Saban. That's why Nick Saban, who really didn't just give his defense to anybody, Jeremy Pruitt was the closest person that he did that with. Jeremy Pruitt hates mediocre. He hates it. And coming in here, he has to deal with it. And he has, it's not like he can just change his football team. He can coach them up, but it's going to take him recruiting better players. That is what it's going to take. And so, yeah, I can see the frustration. He should be. I love it.
He seems annoyed to me.
Oh, yeah.
Annoyed.
I would be too.
Sometimes it seems like he hates being here, to be honest.
I think he hates talking about his team that's not good enough right now. I think that's what really bothers him. Is like, man, I got to talk about this every day. We're not good enough to talk about our team every day. But he has to understand, this is Tennessee. You are in the fishbowl. Media members will come out of the woodworks. You got 20, 30, 50 people there because they have a job to do.
They cut it down a little bit this year from how Bush would allow it to be.
But I'm sure Jeremy Pruitt is like, man, this team is not worthy enough to have a conversation about them every single day. That's why I'm not naming guys individually, because they got to prove it. This team has to prove it.
Here, I guess the thing that's gotten me is if you're going to do what Jeremy Pruitt has been doing, and I don't blame him for having this strategy, which is what you're talking about. He has absolutely, across the entirety of everything that he said, he refuses to name any players individually. He almost refuses to talk about any position group individually. Just generally his response is, well, we haven't practiced enough yet. We haven't played enough yet. I'm not sure that I can speak on that. I get that stance, but I look at it and I say, then don't talk to the media if that's all you got to say.
He has to.
Just don't.
He would love not to.
I mean, it's twice a week. They're doing twice a week.
He would love to do zero.
And I say, let us come to practice and talk to us once a week if this is all you're going to give us at this point. I get it. I get that viewpoint, and it completely makes sense that you're feeling that way right now with this brand new team that you got and a team that has been so poorly coached in the past, as Charles pointed out. But it's been pretty frustrating as a media member to try to mine quotes off of Pruitt. And while he is likable in his sort of everyman persona, he ain't giving us anything.
Yeah. And that's just
it's just a little frustrating.
And that's just, I think, part of it. You remember during Butch's time, you got stuff and it was fluff and it was good to write stuff, and you got clicks and everyone was engaged because Butch was just spewing just a bunch of nonsense. But at the end, teams was losing. Yep. And there's nothing worse for a media member covering a team in Knoxville, covering a football team that's losing. It's miserable for everyone. Unless you are just not a Tennessee fan, you hate Tennessee, then you'd be excited about covering a poor performing football program. But when Tennessee loses, everyone is upset. Everyone's in a funky mood. On the front end with Pruitt, okay, it may not be as easy, but on the back end, you may get your benefit because Pruitt's going to win. And if Pruitt wins, that makes everyone's job easy, that makes everyone happy, and it's a lot better. So I understand exactly why Pruitt is the way he is, but he does have a media obligation, absolutely. But we'll finish that point later. Let me get to Al because we have a guest coming on at 7:30, and I want to get to Al. Don't want him to wait or have to call back. So, Al, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Swain. How's it going?
Hey, man. Great. How are you?
Good. Hey, I just wanted to touch on the autograph session and stuff like that. It sort of sucks as a fan, especially like for people who live a distance away. Like I know for me, my first time ever in Knoxville was a couple years ago, back when Tyler Bray and them guys were all there, like Montour Hughes.
Oh, yeah.
And it was great to get their autograph. The only bad thing was it was only an hour. So maybe if they're going to do that, like wait till like fall practice or something like that, maybe make it 2 hours or something like that. Because I tell you what, man, I couldn't believe the freaking lines. I mean, I was in the defensive lineman line for the whole hour. You there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm letting you finish your point. I mean, it means something to fans like yourself. I get it. I understand 100%, and it opens it up for opportunity for fans like yourself to come closer to the season. But I mean, it's a big change right before the orange and white game. This is something that it doesn't matter if the team's going to be good, bad, or whatever. But when a young kid gets an autograph from a Tennessee football player, it means the world to him.
It means a lot.
And that opportunity is not going to be available this orange and white game. I think it stinks for the fan.
Yeah. Maybe hopefully it's just like a one-time thing, and we'll see.
But I'm willing. But Al, thanks for the phone call. I'm willing to let it go if it means that it's going to help our team be successful. I mean, and that's decisions you have to make sometimes. Sometimes you have to let things go. You have to sacrifice for what you really truly want. Hey, you wanna look good? Well, you got to sacrifice drinking or eating bad. If you want to be a good football player, you have to sacrifice partying, going out, and hanging out with your friends. Put in more work in the classroom or on the field. This is a sacrifice, and I hope it pays off.
It's risky right now asking the fans to sacrifice. Because, boy, they've given it all lately.
Yep. And what you better make sure that you give them in return.
It better be good.
Is the players better, the players playing better, and the players winning.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll take a break, come back, hold the line, stay with us. Swain Event.
Hour one of the Swain Event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphone. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can. Because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries. You break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Reciproco, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technician to see how we can get your phone working today.
Up goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. It's not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Jason Swain here. Gentlemen, have you lost your get up and go? Low T Center can help you find it. If you've noticed a decline in energy and motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T levels make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. I got my levels tested at the Low T Center. It was quick and easy, and most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. That's 865-392-1388.
By now, you know that Mooyah has the best burgers in Knoxville. Their beef is never frozen, they have all-natural turkey burgers and black bean veggie burgers, not to mention they make their buns in-house every day. But now, you can also get 100% all-beef hot dogs or, wait for it, all-natural chicken sandwiches. Trust me, these chicken sandwiches put chicken restaurants to shame. So stop into Mooyah and taste the difference. Located at 7301 Kingston Pike, right by Better Mattress.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear Swain face, see it.
Swain Event fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Hour 1, and Swain Event TV driven by Toyota Knoxville and ToyotaKnoxville.com. If you're watching us on Periscope, Facebook Live, or YouTube, you will see a graphic on the left side of the screen. That is the Tamika Catchings Youth Basketball Clinic. And we bring on Miss Julie Beeler from the University of Tennessee, Department of Audiology and Speech Pathology, to talk about a really cool event that didn't just start this week, but it started back in October when Miss Catchings came here to town for dinner, and this was to honor her. And she is she benefited greatly from the Department of Audiology when she was a player here, and we pay so much attention to the Lady Vols and know what's happening there and want them to return to greatness. But Tamika Catchings, when you think of her, you think of greatness. At the college level, the pro level, and how she carries out her life and helping others in the community. So, Miss Julie, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning. I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm fantastic. I'm excited about this weekend, and Tamika Catchings, free event that's taking place for young people this weekend. And just tell us a little bit about how we got to this point with Tamika Catchings coming to town. She doesn't live here, but she's coming in town just to put on a basketball clinic, a free basketball clinic for young people. How did we get to this point?
I tell you what, Tamika is such a ball for life. She's a great example of somebody who's just at any time ready to give back to the community in Knoxville, and that's exactly what she's doing with this event. She does have a connection to our department, like you mentioned. In her student-athlete years, she came to see us because she has a hearing loss in both ears. And she got her hearing aids again at Coach Summit's recommendation, and she actually got some therapy to work on her speech skills, and she attributes that to the level of comfort that she has now in speaking in front of people. So we're real appreciative of her coming back to the community and to our department to give back to kids. And so she is very skilled at hosting these youth basketball clinics. She actually does them across the nation through her Catch the Stars Foundation. And we're really excited that she's going to give a little bit of that to us. We're partnering with the Boys and Girls Club. It's actually the Regal Teen Center over off of Irwin Street. It's at 967 Irwin Street. And we're hoping to have a great mix of kids, youth, so meaning that they would range in age from about 9 to upwards of, say, 13 or 14. So if anybody listening today has a youth, a boy or girl, that might want to come and be a part of this clinic, we would invite them to do so. It's Saturday, this Saturday the 7th from 1 until 3. And we really need everybody to register that's interested in coming. We do have some spots still available. And they can just register by easily just calling me. I'm Julie, and my number is 865-200-7783. And, she's gonna have a team of volunteer coaches there that are going to go over basketball fundamentals. They're going to work on passing and layups and shootings and defense drills, things like that. But she's also got a beautiful message of dreaming big and overcoming obstacles, giving kids the encouragement that they can do anything they want to do. So she's all about sportsmanship and being fit and leading a healthy lifestyle. So her message is fantastic.
Yeah, I have a 9-year-old, and as a parent, I'm pretty sure a lot of people can identify. You could be telling your kid everything that is right, but it's not the same. It's coming from Tamika Catchings. So this is one of the cool things about living in Knoxville, about being a Tennessee fan, is so many great players come through this program at different sports, and for them to come back and put on a camp, I think it's really cool how our community embraces our stars. We've seen Jarnell Stokes do it. We've seen Eric Barrett does it every year, and now Tamika Catchings coming back to host this free clinic for boys and girls. I think it's unbelievable. I think it's great, and I can't wait to be there myself. And
so we are really looking forward to it too. Thanks so much.
Absolutely. Well, this is what I will do, Miss Julie. I'm going to. I got the flyer. I'm going to continue to pass it around, and we're going to post it on our page and post it on social media, and continue to talk about it during the shows. For those that missed it early, we'll make sure they catch the information a little bit later on in the show. But thank you so much for joining us and sharing information about Tamika Catchings Youth Basketball Clinic, and we'll continue to discuss it for sure.
Oh, thanks so much, Jason. Have a great day.
Hey, thank you. Miss Julie Beeler from University of Tennessee. That's what Tennessee is all about. Tennessee football is king, but this community is special. And for Tamika Catchings to come on her own dime, travel back to Knoxville, hosting a football camp, but a basketball camp, a free basketball camp for boys and girls ages 8, 9 through 13 and 14, boys and girls. So give Miss Julie Beeler a call. Her number is 865-200-7783. 83.
Yeah, I'm about to tweet out the flyer for it if you're not watching the live stream of ours, and you can see it there at Charlie_Burris. It'll be my very first tweet. You can see all of that.
We'll get back to our conversation about autographs at the orange and white game. A lot of players changed positions, and who will stick, man? Who will stick at their new position? Who will stick? Will it be Princeton Fant? Will it be Tyler Bird? We'll discuss Tennessee football when we return.
Hour one of the Swain event is driven by Toyota Knoxville. Stop by Toyota Knoxville to see their great selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. They are conveniently located off the Lover Road exit at 10415 Parkside Drive, right here in Knoxville.
There is a 20% chance of showers today with a high near 56 and a low around 32. Tomorrow looks to be sunny with a high near 63 and a low around 45. Friday, the 20% returns with a high near 63. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words. Better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
You don't have to be embarrassed or ashamed if you have hemorrhoids. By the age of 50, more than 50% of Americans suffer from this painful condition. Thankfully, the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville offers a non-invasive, non-surgical solution. IRC, or infrared coagulation, is a quick and painless laser procedure that shrinks and eliminates 90% of hemorrhoids. And best of all, IRC is covered by most insurance plans. If you're living with hemorrhoids, call the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville at 865-588-9952 to schedule a consultation. That's 865-588-9952. The Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center. Expertise you can trust.
Insects are not the only pests that can get into your house. Squirrels, possums, skunks, and raccoons can find their way into your home and become a nuisance. That's why Southeast Pest Control now offers wildlife service. They will humanely trap the animals and relocate them, including reptiles and even birds. They are available 24/7, and most estimates and inspections during regular business hours are free. If the animal has damaged your home, Southeast Pest Control provides repair and will also provide exclusionary work to prevent animal re-entry. So if you hear scurrying in the attic, don't wait until you smell it. Call Southeast Pest Control at 865-925-3700 or find them online at southeasttermite.com.
Hey, Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Where should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
I just wanted to come by and congratulate you on the great work you've been doing.
You're a hell of a guy, man.
Now that's how you supposed to drive. From now on, that's how you drive.
This kid can draw circles.
Don't remind yourself, nobody built like you. You design yourself.
Bam! Awesome. Phenomenal.
Attaboy.
Swain Event fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. It's time for Attaboy, where we highlight the positivity inside, outside the world of sports. All right, gentlemen, what do we have today?
You want to go first, Charlie, or you want me to?
Sure, mine's pretty quick. We've been talking about a controversial decision around Jeremy Pruitt's football team and whoever made that decision in terms of moving the autograph session around the Orange-White game. But I have an attaboy for Jeremy Pruitt. Nonetheless, yesterday in his press conference, he had the following quote when asked why there's no music playing during his practices. He said, "I don't think they play music during football games. At least I haven't heard it. If they do, I like to coach."
I like that.
And I darn sure, he said darn, that's a direct quote.
Yes!
I darn sure don't want music out there playing where they can't hear me talk. It's so simple.
Wow, I thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Huh.
Yeah. I love this. The man just loves to coach. It's just cut all the crap out. Cut all the crap out. We're going to go coach football. That's it. I don't need the music. I don't need me screaming over a microphone. I don't need all of that stuff.
Here,
showboating.
I've got the clip
of him saying this.
Yes, I do.
Perfect. Yeah, roll that.
I don't think they play music during football games, or I had never heard it. Maybe they do. So I'd like to coach. I'd like for the people to be able to hear me when I do coach them. You know, we already just got 20 hours in a week that we can coach them. So I darn sure don't want music out there where they can't hear what I'm saying.
There you go. Jeremy Pruitt. That's that man in a nutshell. He just wants to coach football. Let the man coach.
I love that. I love that quote. I love that soundbite, man. We got to say that one. That's an all-time classic right there. That's great, man.
That is great.
All right, Ben, what you got?
I'm giving former Tennessee basketball players an attaboy today. How about Tobias Harris? In my opinion, one of the more underrated former Vols out there. Putting in work last night. 31 points and 35 minutes on 11 of 19 shooting. And that's 31 points with only one made three-pointer. 8 of 9 from the free throw line, 9 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 steals. Just incredible performance to beat the Spurs 113-110. Wow. And he is keeping the Clippers' playoff hopes alive with just, I think, 10 days to go until the playoffs. Clippers are a game and a half out of 8th place of making the playoffs. So shouts out to Tobias Harris. And then Josh Richardson last night had the game-winning block to beat the Hawks for the Heat. And that secured. I can't talk.
Secured.
I'm just going to go with secured because I sound like an idiot. It secured a playoff spot. So shouts out to Jay Rich. And then I was listening to a podcast the other day, and Jarnell Stokes' name was brought up. And apparently he's like 4th in rebounding in China right now. So how about former Vol basketball players balling out right now?
Good for him, man.
Darnell Stokes securing his spot on Attaboy.
They're securing the bag.
I remember last year when Jarnell joined us in studio. He mentioned that he had signed a contract to play in China.
Yeah, just signed it.
Like that week or something.
I remember he walked in through the door and we were like,
oh, my word.
Hey.
Staring up at him. Oh, hey.
Hey, Jarnell, what's going on, man?
And what's funny is he's an undersized 4, and we were still looking at his chin.
He's all of 6'8".
Yes.
But, you know, those buildings were not big enough for Jarnell Stokes. Today marks 50 years since Dr. Martin Luther King was assassinated at Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. And today, all across the world, we reflect, we think about his sacrifices, his contribution, and I know there's a lot of conversation on both sides of the aisle about certain issues in our country. And today, but Dr. Martin Luther King, we should remember him because he died for what he believed in. Many of us have strong convictions about what we believe in. Dr. Martin Luther King put his life on the line, and it was tragically taken away. Today, think about what Dr. Martin Luther King would do in certain situations. Let's try to love each other. Let's try to listen to each other. We may have different opinions, but let's think about him. Let's honor him. Let's love our neighbor. Let's try to understand other people that's different from us. Doesn't matter what color they are, how they look or what they believe in, but let's try to learn a lot about each other. And sometimes when we don't know about each other, that intimidates us and it may put fear in our hearts, and it shouldn't. Let's learn about each other, and let's honor Dr. Martin Luther King as we remember 50 years since the day he was assassinated there in Memphis. So that's my attaboy today, is about Dr. Martin Luther King.
Best one.
I got a chance to go to Memphis and visit the Lorraine Motel, and it was eerie. My skin was crawling, and my heart was in my stomach, and it was an eerie feeling. But I know we have a responsibility, and that's to leave this place better than what we found it. And that's how I try to live my life, is try to leave it in a better position that I found it. And
you can't do that. You can't do that with hate.
And you can't do that with hate. So
I would say
bring value to others, and so let's try to do that as we remember Dr. Martin Luther King. You got to work today, so you can't use the king.
It's not Martin Luther King Day.
You can't use the king to get off work. You got to work today. So thinking about him and all the folks that he influenced and he impacted, of all colors and all backgrounds. This is the first move by this staff. And when I say staff, it's everyone included. Coach Former, everyone included. This is the first move by this staff that has me like, woo, I don't know about that one. I don't know about stopping the autographs. If anything, I would do a double session to show these fans how much you appreciate them for sticking by Tennessee football through all this stuff that's happened.
We've had people weighing in sort of since we brought this up, and there's been a whole group of people that have been saying kind of, well, we're saying they probably should show as much appreciation to the fans as possible. This is really disappointing because I come a long way. And now, I'm not going to be able to meet the players, get this autograph session in like I usually do. But then there's another perspective from Joe on the text box. He says, Pruitt may be wanting to make it as close to a real game as possible.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't doubt if he put them in separate locker rooms. He doesn't know these players, so he wants to see the players play without distractions. He's watched them practice, and now he has the opportunity to watch them play. That's a good point. All right.
From a player's perspective, the orange and white game, in the times I played it, was not a real game. And you want to try to make this thing as real as possible. You never stand up for an hour and sign autographs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to put myself in the shoes of Jordan Pruitt and this staff. The 15th practice, because the orange and white game is counted as a practice, you want that practice to count just as much as the 7th practice, just as much as the 8th practice. With all the festivities at the beginning, it's really hard to simulate that, a practice, a real practice. So for football reasons, I would totally 100% understand. I get it. I totally get it. From a fan's perspective, I understand why you would not want this to end. But from Jeremy Pruitt's position, I want my players to only think about one thing, and that's football. That is football. And it was really uncomfortable. This is just from a player's perspective. It was really uncomfortable standing up for an hour in the middle of the football field, the sun beating on you, signing autographs, and then going to play a football game. That is tough to ask these young men to do. Mm-hmm. If you want a real football game. If you want something watered down, okay, whatever. But if you want a real football game, 11 on 11, guys getting after it, you want them to have to put in everything that they have, then okay, let them prepare like a real football game. Even at practice, and practices are grueling. You don't stand up for an hour. In meetings, you sit down, and you have meeting time before practice. You're sitting down. You're staying off your feet for an hour, hour and a half. So the orange and white game traditionally has been the only practice where you didn't enter practice with all your energy. You didn't enter practice like feeling like you're ready to put in 2 hours, 2.5 hours. You saw a lot of the walk-ons get reps. You didn't see a lot of the first and second team guys, and maybe you see a ton of reps from the first team and second team guys.
Yeah.
I think we need to wait and kind of see how it plays out. If we get the same schedule as before, or the same amount of reps for our really good players, and it's watered down and it's nothing but a walk-on party, then why not let the starters and the guys sign autographs earlier in the day?
People will be asking what the point was.
But I think it's fair on both sides. Fans to not be excited about this move. I think it's fair on the other side from a football perspective for Jeremy Pruitt and company say, let's make it all about football.
Mm-hmm. I get it from both sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And let me also say to Josh and Knox on the text box, we're going to talk about the goalie interference in the Predators game. Don't worry. He asked me what my thoughts were on it. This is just not the segment that I'm going to bring it up.
Go read Charlie's Twitter.
Yeah, if you want to know my thoughts on it,
let me actually, I have a better answer. If you know Charlie Burris, you know what his reaction is.
My thoughts
he wants to fire somebody.
100%.
Somebody got to get
fire these refs.
Somebody got to get fired.
I believe the words were, "You were the absolute worst, NHL."
I said you're awful.
Yes.
And I also said screw you. That was both on the timeline.
Hour 2 coming up.
Charlie was in his feelings.
Hour 2 of the Swain event is brought to you by Premier Surgical Associates. Visit premiersurgical.com to find out about the procedures and services they offer to help you live a better life. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust. Touchdown or turnover is up next on the Swain event.
A place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing their new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. A place where you belong.
Major store-wide savings and better mattress this month, plus a chance to get up to 40% off. Visit any better mattress to play in the March Madness Challenge. Customers get one basketball shot in store for up to 40% off select purchases. Everyone is a winner this March at Better Mattress. Get store-wide instant rebates on select purchases, including free pillows, sheets, and a mattress protector. A $300 value. Plus, take the big shot to get 40% off during the March Madness event at Better Mattress. Play in store. With 6 area locations, there is one near you. Find them on Facebook and visit bettermattress.com. Good night, just got better.
Touchdown or turnover is backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, a place where you belong.
Touchdown or turnover, backed by Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union, atfcu.com. I got you right here. Touchdown, turnover. Tyler Bird and Princeton Fant will stay at their current positions. Tyler Bird, secondary. Princeton Fant, he's at running back. Bird and Fant will stay. They will stick at their current positions, touchdown or turnover.
I go turnover. I think Tyler Bird sticks for obvious reasons. I think he's probably the best natural corner that Tennessee has at the moment. He may, by the end of the spring, midway through fall camp, maybe prove to be Tennessee's best corner that it has on his roster.
I'm nervous about that. I don't want him to be the best natural corner right now.
I know, I don't either, but I think that's where Tennessee is at because you lose Justin Martin, you lose Emmanuel Mosley, you lose Shaq Wiggins, if you want to say he lost him. I like Balin Buchanan. Other than that, I like Marco Osborne. I think it's been hard for him to find a role. Hopefully he can do that under staff that understands how to use players correctly. But I think right now Tyler Bird is definitely, if he's not the best natural corner on Tennessee's roster, he's one of the best on Tennessee's roster. So I think you have to leave him at corner, especially because I'm starting to think you do have some talent at receiver. I don't think that you need to move him back. I think Brandon Johnson and Marquez Callaway are going to be go-to guys. I think they're capable of being go-to guys and producing. And then you add Jawan Jennings to the mix, and then you have Alontae Taylor. Latrell Williams is finally healthy and looking good. So I think you don't need to move him back to receiver. I say turnover because I don't think Princeton Fant sticks at running back. I think he ends up moving back to tight end, or maybe he somewhat stays at running back and they use him in that Jakob Johnson role and put him at fullback. So I go turnover. Tyler Bird sticks. Princeton Fant does not.
You almost took what I was going to say. It's turnover for me.
I apologize.
I think. Well, no, it's okay because obviously, I mean, the answer here seems somewhat obvious, but turnover for me. Tyler Bird, I do believe sticks. He's just a killer athlete, man, and I think he's going to do really, really well at that corner position. But Princeton Fant, exactly like Ben was saying right there at the end, I want to see that man be a fullback. Bring me a fullback. Bring me running an offense out of the I formation. I want to see it so badly at Tennessee. Not a lot. I don't want to see it a lot. You got to move the ball. But
what if it doesn't work?
Well, then that's
I mean,
not.
I understand wanting to see players used and formations used to benefit the offense and benefit our team. But we got to be careful just wanting to see something just because. Like, I want it to work.
Very, very good point.
And I don't know if Princeton Fant can be a lead blocker. I don't know that yet. I don't know. I don't know if we have that personnel. If anything, last year, the one person who could do that is Jakob Johnson. He's not here anymore. Who can be that lead blocker? I don't know who do we have. I don't know who we have that can fit that role. I don't know yet. This is what I want. I want us to, when it's time to run downhill, to run downhill.
Like when you're on the goal line?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. When it's time, 3rd and short, 4th and short, goal line situations, or you're playing a team that cannot handle your physicality, there's a advantage that you impose your will. When it's time to run downhill, when it's time to big boy you on the line of scrimmage, I want us to do it. I don't care what formation we in.
Interesting concept.
I don't care if we in I formation, wishbone formation, wing T formation. I don't care. When it's time to smash you in the mouth, do it. That's my take. Just do it. Just do it.
Hey, careful. LeBron's gonna get Nike to get on you.
Just do it, man. Hey, I want no problems, LeBron. Remember, I'm a fan. I'm a fan, LeBron. Don't get me.
You see those shoes LeBron was rocking last night? He was rocking some Griffies. Oh my word!
The pettiness twos.
Clean. I sent them to my mom. I was like, Mom, hook me up.
She's not getting them for you.
Oh, I know.
She's not getting you. You guys said turnover. I'm gonna say touchdown, man. Here's the reason why I'm saying touchdown. I'm gonna back up my point. I'm saying touchdown because of Jackson Lowe. Jackson Lowe coming in as number 1 tight end on Tennessee's board. You want to leave as much room as possible for him. I think he committed because there's opportunity for him that he sees he can play. I think Princeton Fant is what this coaching staff wants at running back. As good as Ty Chandler was in his freshman year, I just think that this coaching staff wants a bigger back. and you add Jeremy Banks, I don't know how ready he's going to be as a true freshman. But you're adding Mondre London, who has experience, who won't be afraid of the moment, who will understand pass blocking. All he needs to understand is the terminology, but he understands the technique, elbows in, jabbing the chest, moving your feet, aiming at the center of a defender when he's rushing, knowing when to chop, when not to chop. He knows that from his 3 years playing Michigan State. He brings that experience. And then you have Princeton Fant, who's been here. So I think he's going to have an advantage on Jeremy Banks. He's going to have an advantage on Mondre London in that point. I just think this staff likes bigger backs, and I think he's going to stick at running back.
But does he have an advantage over Trey Coleman and Tim Jordan and Todd Chandler? I almost don't think there's room for him at running back. I do. It's hard to say because we don't get to see the running backs in practice at all, enough to where we can formulate a good opinion on them. Because I have not seen Princeton Fant have a carry in an 11-on-11 situation once, so it's kind of hard to say. But that running back room is getting crowded, and I just don't know that. I don't know that he's going to be able to carve out some time.
There's no one in the media. I don't think that's seen.
No. But exactly. But it's still hard to kind of say, all right, Princeton Fant is succeeding. Keep him at running back. That's why I can't wait for the spring game. That'd be a perfect opportunity if he does continue to stay at running back. A good opportunity to see him work.
It's hard to think about Ty Chandler having any trouble starting and playing.
Right.
That's natural, right? Because he was good last year.
Looked good against Kentucky.
He was good in Butch Jones's rinky-dink offense. Tennessee was all over Todd Chandler in recruiting. Alabama didn't offer him. This staff is from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
So how they value smaller backs is not the same as Robert Gillespie and Butch Jones.
Right.
So Todd Chandler's going to have to prove himself all over again.
Mm-hmm.
And Tennessee has always had 3 or 4 backs who were capable enough. You can put Princeton Fant, keep him at running back, and still have him be a contributor on special teams.
Right.
You can still have him being used in certain formations where it's him and another running back in. I just think with the commitment of Jackson Lowe, being a highly rated tight end, you're bringing in a highly rated JUCO tight end, number 1 in the JUCO ranks.
Dominic Wood Anderson.
I don't know if Princeton Fant's going to make the move back. This is totally a guess, but I'm just going off of Jackson Lowe's commitment. I'm going off of bringing in 2 backs who, under the last staff, wouldn't have been on this team. Jeremy Banks was not offered by the previous staff, and then Mondre London, he wouldn't have been a part of this team because his style didn't fit what Butch Jones and them was trying to do. So I just look at the 2 arrivals that are coming, bigger backs, and I look at Princeton Fant being that bigger back moving. I think he's going to stick, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't think either one of us will be right or wrong until the season.
Right. And is Jeremy Pruitt in a position to be picky at this moment in time about how big his running backs are? At this point, you just have to play the best person available. I understand. I agree with what you're saying, and Ty Chandler isn't the biggest of guys, as we know, and there's a reason Ty Chandler looks different than Derrick Henry and all those guys that Bama has year in and year out. But I don't know that Jeremy Pruitt is going to be able to be picky this year in terms of having a bigger running back if Ty Chandler is just better than Mondre London, if he's better than Princeton Fant or better than Jeremy Banks. I mean, you still have to play the best guy.
When you look at Ty Chandler, I think you're going off of one thing, and that's him with the ball in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
He was the best last year out of any of these guys who are currently on the staff with the ball in his hands. But how is he as a blocker?
Right.
How is he when he's hit at the line of scrimmage or 2 guys tackle him? Can he move the pile? I mean, those are other things that matter. You playing video games, and you're, selecting, okay, which back I want to put in there, you look at what speed, you look at agility, you look at, moves in space, breakaway speed. That's great. You wouldn't want one to be at 100 and the rest of them be at like 60 or 70.
Right.
You want to put the guy in that's all of them are like 70, 80, or 90. You want the most complete back. Is Ty Chandler more complete than any of these other guys, according to Chris Winkie and Tyson Helton? Now, we don't know that. Who do they think is the most complete back? The best with the ball in their hands? That's Ty Chandler from what we've seen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Able to break tackles, able to accelerate away from defenses. He has some strength and power. We've seen him run over guys in that Kentucky game. We don't know what Chris Winkie and the offensive staff value at running back yet. We don't know. But we do know of the moves that have been made with certain running backs, and they don't look like Ty Chandler.
No. It definitely points to they want guys who are the Derrick Henry, the Damian Harris, the Bo Scarboroughs, those types of backs.
Can you block?
Yes.
When it's a passing play.
Like Jalen Hurd would be beautiful in this system.
Absolutely. We're not going to have perfect protection from the offensive line. So you better have great protection from the running back because he's the last
extra blocker
line of defense before you get to the quarterback. That is something to think about. 865-200-5503. Stay with us.
Hour 2 of the Swain event is brought to you by Premier Surgical Associates. Visit premiersurgical.com to find out about the procedures and services they offer to help you live a better life. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
The next thing you know, you're being arrested for DUI. Be responsible, but remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call DUI and criminal defense attorney Marcos Garza. Put this number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300 and GarzaLaw.com.
We have all made the mistake of dropping or breaking our smartphone. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries, you break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Reciproco, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike, between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technician to see how we can get your phone working today.
Goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage and is not available in all states.
Looking for a different way to enjoy the Swain event? Then check out Swain Event TV, brought to you by Toyota Knoxville. Follow the show on Periscope and Facebook Live. Don't just hear Swain face, see it.
Eight 865-255-03. Swain Event TV, driven by Toyota Knoxville, ToyotaKnoxville.com. VolDog12 on the text box, free for Android, Apple devices. You can text us there, send comments. Says Ty Chandler has to get on the field, even if he's not the best overall back, third down back or something. Can't leave that athleticism on the bench. No, I agree. Maybe in last year's system, he's getting 80% of the snaps. Maybe in this one, he's getting 65. I mean, that's the difference I'm talking about. I ain't talking about just putting him on the bench and not using him at all. But we all just have him in permanent marker being a starter, and I just don't know if that's going to be the case.
This is where you wish John Kelly would have come back.
Yeah, I mean, you still use players, but you don't make them your everything like we did with John Kelly. It was, all right, John Kelly to the right, John Kelly to the left, John Kelly up the middle. I mean, he was the only weapon. And you don't have to just use one guy. The best offense coordinators find a way to use everyone, even guys who are second team, even guys who are third string. Okay, I have a back that, yeah, he's not great between the tackles, but he's fast. He's great in space. So this play, I'm going to put in this guy for this play because I know it fits him perfectly. Or, hey, we have a receiver that's not necessarily great from 20 to 20, 20-yard line to 20-yard line with running curls, running comebacks, but, man, sure is good with jump ball situations. Guess who we're going to in the goal line if it's third down and 6 and, we're at the 7-yard line. All right, let's throw a fade. All right, let's go to this guy because that's his strength. That's knowing your personnel. And there's some things that Ty Chandler does that no one else in the running back room can do. He's the fastest guy.
Mm-hmm.
He is the fastest guy. So it would be criminal if you didn't use him, but it also would be criminal if you just made him your John Kelly.
Yes.
Who did everything and no one else could do anything.
Yep.
You know how to use anyone else.
I think it's fair to say that this staff is going to use Ty Chandler as the primary starter. He's probably not going to get as many touches as he would have under Butch Jones' staff. But you'll see them use Ty Chandler, but you're going to stop seeing a Ty Chandler-type personnel in this offense. You're going to begin to see them recruit the Jeremy Banks, the bigger guys, the Mondre Londons. So they're going to use Ty Chandler to the best of their abilities. Obviously, they're going to scheme around him and his offensive traits. But then you're going to see a change in style of who they want at running back in the coming years, as you've already seen with the guys that they've already brought in Banks and London.
Tanner on the text box says, looks like Tyler's going to be better at safety. However, Pruitt is saying his DBs will know how to play every position on in the secondary, and that is accurate. There's only one way that you can know what your partner is thinking, and that is actually do what your partner does in practice. So that way you can really understand his position 100%. So those forward and back can be in sync and play together, or if it's nickel or dime, that everyone knows everyone's position. Everyone knows everyone's responsibility in case someone gets hurt. I remember Inky Johnson going out, and we put Hefney at corner some. We put Antoine Stewart at corner some after those guys had played some safety. And so you want versatility. with your back end, and that's something Pruitt preached there at Alabama. That's something that he would certainly do here.
I think that's a really great strategy that maybe was taught under Butch Jones, but I'm just not sure. It reminds me, this is going to come off really dorky, but it reminds me of an accounting class I had where federal taxation, we had to do manual tax returns, which if you do your own taxes, you know that's not a thing that you have to do nowadays. You got Tax Act or whatever software you use. And I remember somebody asked the teacher, like, why do we have to do, like, nobody does manual tax returns anymore. Like, why do we need to do this? And he was like, well, you need to know the underlying principles of everything you're doing when you're entering that information into the software in case you ever have to do that manual tax return. It might come up in your life. You're going to be an accountant in the future. And it kind of, you were covering all your bases where you can have just this crutch where you only have one set of skills where you can do it on a computer and the basic outline of that, or you can be really good at it and know all the underlying strategy and everything. And I think it's sort of the same principle here, where they just want these guys to be prepared for every situation and be able to slot in wherever they can. And I think, like I said, I don't know if Butch was teaching that, but it didn't.
I could do my job in my position, but when you really take your game to the next level is when you know what everyone's doing. Because then the game slows down to you. You're able to I think, react faster when you know exactly what all 21 players are doing.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's where Rashawn Golden was last year. Like he was everywhere, and I think the game really slowed down to him, and that speaks to his football IQ. Renee Adams says, "Have you all discussed the Randy Sanders debacle?" We spent a long time on it yesterday, probably most of the show.
Most of yesterday's show.
And yesterday, I did not want to point a finger at the player because I didn't know if he really pushed the issue. And after talking to a few people yesterday, what I was told was that player and parents pushed the issue. And if that's the case, then proceed to call the player soft if you want to. I guess the we can look at it as always just a little tap on the helmet. But what kind of tap was it? I guess this is what they have to sort out. Was it a smack upside the head type of, oh, that's a bonehead play? Or was it I'm a rear back and wind up and bring this hit from the bottom of the my shoes, come over the top and hit you over the head? I mean, how bad was it? My personal opinion, I don't care how bad it was, you got a helmet on. It ain't gonna hurt. You have a helmet on. A coach is hitting you with his hand. He can't hit you that hard, or he'll break his hand.
It's gonna hurt him more than it's gonna hurt you.
So suck it up. Make the next play.
Yeah, be better.
Because this screams as a young man that without football, going into the real world, may have some issues with a little rejection, with a little tough coaching. This screams it. It's football. It's football. Coaches have overstepped their boundaries, both on the field, off the field, because they're giving so much power. But from Randy Sanders' history, he's not done that. He's not done that. The boosters are not happy with the decision to have Randy Sanders on administrative leave. The fans obviously are not happy. And ETSU right now looks bad. It looks bad. We'll see what happens. But we discussed it in detail yesterday. Matt Vol says, I have a question. Is it possible that there could be some ego issues and people gravitate to certain players more than others, and in an attempt to keep these guys in a team player state of mind is why he's making this move to trying to curb the divide created by the previous administration? I don't think anyone, if you have an ego issue, I don't think you're going to show it. This is honeymoon phase. On first date, you don't show the first date that you're a slob, right? You at least hide it a little bit. And then you get comfortable, and then you let your nasty out, I guess. Oh, man, you drink out of the milk carton? Oh, disgusting. But you don't do that the first time, right? I think everyone has a guard up. If you had an ego issue in the past, you probably have your P's and Q's in order right now. You don't want Pruitt and company to see that. And maybe it doesn't show. Maybe it doesn't show. I think people think egos sometimes are a bad thing. They're not a bad thing. You can't let them divide the locker room. You can't let that hinder your development and your willingness to go and put in extra work. But it's okay to have a little ego. It's okay to be a little bit cocky when you play in this game because you got to have confidence because you're going to lose reps. You're going to go through adversity, and you got to have confidence in yourself to bounce back. I don't think there's an ego problem right now. Fisher Vol says, as fans, we fought to have this guy as our coach. We didn't know it was going to be him at the time, but thankfully we lucked up and got him. We have to stand behind him in all decisions he makes until he gives us a reason not to, autograph sessions or not. Go Vols.
You don't have to stand behind him in every decision that he makes. You can still support the team and say, man, I'm disappointed that I can't get an autograph for my kids, you know?
You can stand behind anyone and disagree with the decision that they make.
Yeah, exactly. You're not saying it's not a giant affront to Jeremy Pruitt to say, well, man, I'm making a 4-hour drive. I wish I could get my kid an autograph on his little football helmet. But
I think there's some people that take really simple approaches to being a fan. Like they're really simple-minded. What I mean by that is you think that you have to absolutely agree with everything to be a quote true fan. And that's not accurate. There's a lot of people that deep down in their hearts knew Butch Jones was a clown, but felt like if they didn't 100% of the time agree with everything that he was doing or saying, that you wasn't a real fan. And that's just not true. You can support somebody but disagree with them. You can have a child and love them but not agree with what they're doing. Hey, when a kid gets 18, he can get a tattoo. He can get his ears pierced. You can still love that kid but not agree with that decision. You don't tell your kid, okay, bad decision. I hate you. I don't support you anymore. You're not my kid anymore. You're done. I'm disowning you. No, you don't do that.
Some parents do.
Good luck with that relationship. If you care about the relationship, you don't do that. But if you care about the relationship, you just let your kid know, I don't agree with it, but you are your own person, and I still love you. And that's the approach I take with this is I don't have to agree with every single thing that a coach does. I'm not going to agree with everything Coach Former does. But that doesn't mean that I don't support him, that I don't back him, that I don't have love for him. 100% do. That does not make me less of a fan because I don't agree 100% with everything that Coach Former, Jeremy Pruitt is going to do. As a player, I didn't agree with everything that everything that Coach Former did. As a player. But I wasn't a problem in the locker room, and I was a captain. Go to him and talk about it. So I just hope that after dealing with Butch Jones, that we kind of look at ourselves as a fan and just say, hey, man, you don't have to agree with everything just because he's a coach. You can still support him. You can still back him. You can still be excited about the direction and say, hey, well, I'm not a big fan of no autograph still. I ain't a fan of that. But I still love him, still support him, still back him. I think you can do that. Hour 2 continues after this.
Hour 2 of the Swain event is brought to you by Premier Surgical Associates. Visit premiersurgical.com to find out about the procedures and services they offer to help you live a better life. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799. Jason Swain here. There's a lot of people talking about testosterone. Make sure you do your homework and go to a medical provider that you trust and that specializes in testosterone. I got my levels tested at the Low T Center. It was quick and easy with results in about 20 minutes. At the Low T Center, their physicians exclusively diagnose and treat men with low T, and most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. That's 865-392-1388.
By now, you know that Mooyah has the best burgers in Knoxville. Their beef is never frozen, they have all-natural turkey burgers and black bean veggie burgers, not to mention they make their buns in-house every day. But now, you can also get 100% all-beef hot dogs or, wait for it, all-natural chicken sandwiches. Trust me, these chicken sandwiches put chicken restaurants to shame. So stop into Mooyah and taste the difference. Located at 7301 Kingston Pike, right by Better Mattress.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly with another update on Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Fitness blends, slim blends, wellness blends, and take a break blends are all on the menu at Smoothie King. In addition, we now have the delicious and nutritious coffee smoothies that will jumpstart your day and keep you running when you need an afternoon pick-me-up.
Swain, Smoothie King has been the place I can count on for a healthy meal or snack since 1999. They truly are a healthy alternative to fast food. My go-to smoothies are still the Chocolate Gladiator and the Chocolate Shredder with the scoop of peanut butter. Smoothie King definitely helps me keep up the demands of work and a busy lifestyle.
Man, I hear you, TK. I got to stay in shape to keep up with my growing family and all that they're doing. Smoothie King helps me stay energized and ready to meet whatever the day brings. Make the Sip by Sip program part of your life. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll notice the difference.
Swain, you and Smoothie King are both legit. We need to get to Smoothie King right now, Swaino. I need a Chocolate Gladiator with some peanut butter, and I can truly say I'm a Smoothie King for life.
Smoothie King, delicious and nutritious, the healthy alternative to fast food.
Don't forget the peanut butter.
You don't have to take an L just because you can't listen to the Swain Event live. You can catch up on the podcast posted daily on the app, online, and on iTunes.
Better Mattress is celebrating 27 years in business. That means 27 years of a commitment to you, people of East Tennessee, both shoppers and supporting local manufacturers here in East Tennessee. To celebrate 27 years, upgrade from a regular box spring to an adjustable base for only $27. This value is a $1,299 value here, folks. $27 upgrade to an adjustable base. Better Mattress, BEDRmattress.com. Swain Event, fueled by Daddy and Barbecue. Position changes has been a topic with Blakely moving from DN to tight end. Will he stick? Will Tyler Bird, will he stick? Going from receiver to corner to safety. Will Princeton Fant stick?
Carlin Fields and me.
Man, I think Carlin Fields and me is in no man's land.
That's how I feel about Prince and Fant.
They're both in an odd position where
and Jaquan Blakely.
They're not exactly fit for the position they want to play, but they're also not totally fit for the position they're attempting to play. That's tough.
I think Blakely could be okay. I mean, he can be the worst pass catcher ever.
Yeah, as long as he can block.
If you can run into somebody,
yeah,
and move them,
yeah, you're useful.
You can play football.
You're right.
We'll find a place for you.
And in this offense too, it's going to be run heavy. I guarantee you they'll go 2 tight end sets, even 3 tight end sets sometimes.
Man, it may be run heavy, man, but these wide receivers, you mentioned it, they might not be bad. I mean, you got Jock Jones coming back from injury.
I forgot to mention Jordan Murphy earlier.
You got Jordan Murphy.
I've seen him make some nice catches in practice.
He's looking good. You got Jawan Jennings coming back. You got Marquez Callaway, who's starting to understand how to practice being a number 1 receiver. You got Williams.
Alontae Taylor hasn't – and I'll say this about Alontae Taylor. I saw him on campus last week, and my initial thought was he's taller than I thought he was. I thought he was like my height almost because, you know, he was a slot guy. That was kind of his billing coming in that, he's a slot guy. He's fast. He has good hands. He's much taller in person than I thought he was. I mean, I'm like 5'11 and a half. He's solid 6'1", 6'2", and I thought that was a pleasant surprise because I thought he was much shorter than what he actually was. And Jordan Murphy, maybe it's because he wears number 11 and he's skinny, but he kind of reminds me of Justin Hunter.
Don't do it.
the way he moves, not necessarily his football abilities, but the way he moves. And like I said, maybe it's because he's skinny and he wears number 11, but there's one route that he ran that I saw in a video. I was like, that man looks like Justin Hunter.
Ooh, boy.
Anyone catching a football who is skinny and wear number 11 will probably remind you of Justin Hunter, but he's got a ways to go.
Hey, jump over the entire defense.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wearing 11.
Like he did against Ole Miss.
Yeah. Like, jump over the defense wearing number 11. Then I'll say you look like Justin Hunter because that dude, a freak. Alontae Taylor is listed at 6 foot, so I like Alontae Taylor.
I don't buy that. I think he's taller. Maybe he's hit a growth spurt since he got here because I'm like, my dad makes fun of me for not being 6 foot because I'm literally like 5'11 and 7/8. Like I am so close. I'm as close to 6 foot as you can get without being 6 foot, and he was a good inch or two taller than me. So I'm kind of surprised that they got him listed at 6 foot.
Usually,
maybe he was wearing some Jordans that day, some Air Maxes.
Maybe. Usually they make you taller than what you really are.
Which is, yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, I was 6'2" my freshman year in the media guide. And then somewhere along the line, I was 6'1". And at the NFL Combine, I measured 6 foot and some change.
Now that's kind of like Tennessee.
So what happened?
Tennessee's basketball team.
Was it cold that night? Did I shrink? Well, I mean, what was going on?
Tennessee's basketball team this offseason, I think wasn't every single person on the roster grew like at least an inch or something technically by the listing in the
by the roster.
Yeah, in the roster.
Yeah,
maybe they just all wore their shoes.
Basketball definitely stretches the heights.
Oh yeah, man. I remember seeing Big Baby listed as 6'9" one time.
Like
Glenn Davis, Big Baby. That dude is all of 6'6" and some change.
Like Grant's not 6. What are they? Don't they list him at 6'7"?
6'7".
6'7".
I don't think he's 6'7". Yeah, he's tall, but he ain't 6'7".
Hey, he's a baller. So
that's all that matters.
But these receivers, I think they're going to be better than what people think. And David Johnson's a big reason why. Coaches talk. And Burton Burns, former running back coach at Alabama, who I kind of threw in the mix as maybe being the next running back coach because of his connections to Jeremy Pruitt. He's now in the off-the-field role, but he's from Louisiana. He knew David Johnson because of their Bayou ties and gave Jeremy Pruitt recommendation for David Johnson. And watching David Johnson teach, because I get messages all the time from a lot of my teammates who was in that same meeting room with me as a wide receiver, they want to know about the receiver coach. Just like the moment Azani was hired, they want to know about him. They want to know about Kevin Beard. And one thing I tell them is, hey, man, this dude's a real deal. Dave Johnson's a real deal.
Does he wear his cleats to practice?
No. That's the only knock on David Johnson.
What about wristbands, like Coach Z?
Yeah, that's another knock. No wristbands and no cleats. That obviously makes a difference.
Speaking of David Johnson, did you see Anthony Miller's pro day yesterday?
I did not.
He ran a good 40. I want to say it was 4.48, and they were raving about something. I think it was his route running ability, because he had been coming off an injury. I think there were some workouts that he wasn't able to perform at the NFL Combine, but he ran a 4.48 40, I believe, which was good for him because I believe his injury was a lower body injury, a lower extremity.
Well, he's a smaller guy, so he better run a fast time. He had a 4.46 and 4.52, so somewhere in between them. But he jumped a 39-inch vertical.
That's what it was.
And I don't know if I give credit to David Johnson for the vertical.
No, I was just kind of pointing out that this is what Tennessee's receivers could become.
I do give credit to David Johnson when it comes to how technical Anthony Miller is.
Yes.
With this route running.
He looked good.
His understanding of the routes and understanding of the route tree. And these coaches will put you on a grease board, and they'll ask you, hey, what is your favorite play and why? What's your favorite play versus cover 2? What's your favorite play against cover 3? What are you thinking versus 2-man? They will put you on the grease board and ask you that. They did that with me. And you got to be able to answer those questions and explain what you are doing, what everyone else is doing, and why you like that. And that is that's a reflection of David Johnson as a coach. But the vertical is a reflection of the strength and conditioning coach.
Yeah. I was more talking about his route running. Him and Riley Ferguson looked really good yesterday, and that's credit to David Johnson taking a walk-on and turning him into a early second-round pick potentially. I like the kid. That's a guy that I'd like to see the Titans or the Steelers pick up. Or maybe your Bears will pick him up.
Anthony Miller?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take him. I'll take Riley Ferguson too, man. I'll take Riley.
What do you mean? You have Mitchell Trubisky.
We got Tyler Bray too. Tyler Bray, Mitchell Trubisky.
You have Tyler Bray.
I'll take Riley Ferguson, man.
You know who they don't have anymore?
Jay Cutler.
Mike Glennon. So you were gung ho about this time last year. Not gung ho.
I thought that he could be a game manager with a good running game and a defense that was led by a head coach that's defensive minded. I thought they could be okay, but Mike Glennon he wasn't that good.
Trubisky impressed me last year though, and the times he got to play, I thought he impressed me more than I thought he would.
He made plays with his legs.
Showed a big arm.
He made plays. Whoever the quarterback was last year didn't have much help from the wide receivers because the receivers helped the Bears be last in passing in the NFL, and a lot of it is because of injury. They've drafted some guys who have not been healthy, so they brought in Allen Robinson from Jacksonville. Hopefully they'll draft another receiver and give Mr. Trubisky some targets, some weapons moving forward. All right.
They just need Ryan Fitzpatrick and they'll be good to go.
Nah, we good. For what? Coming up next.
Hour 2 of the Swain event is brought to you by Premier Surgical Associates. Visit premiersurgical.com to find out about the procedures and services they offer to help you live a better life. Premier Surgical Associates. Expertise you can trust.
There is a 20% chance of showers today with a high near 56 and a low around 32. Tomorrow looks to be sunny with a high near 63 and a low around 45. Friday, the 20% returns with a high near 63. Weather on the Swain event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, That's right. Nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words. Better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry.
For what is coming up on the Swain Event.
Insects are not the only pests that can get into your house. Squirrels, possums, skunks, and raccoons can find their way into your home and become a nuisance. That's why Southeast Pest Control now offers wildlife service. They will humanely trap the animals and relocate them, including reptiles and even birds. They are available 24/7, and most estimates and inspections during regular business hours are free. If the animal has damaged your home, Southeast Pest Control provides repair and will also provide exclusionary work to prevent animal re-entry. So if you hear scurrying in the attic, don't wait until you smell it. Call Southeast Pest Control at 865-925-3700 or find them online at southeasttermite.com.
Hey, Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Where should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
Butch Jones replacing Philip Fulmer on the Jumbotron.
For what?
People getting drunk and stumbling into the wrong house.
For what?
Butch saying a chart told him to kick an extra point instead of going for 2.
For what?
People who break the law while breaking the law.
For what?
All right, Benjamin, this is your time to shine. We got for what here in the Swain Event? You and Charlie, let's do it.
I'm giving college baseball rules a for what. Middle Tennessee State was playing Vanderbilt yesterday in the bottom of the 8th inning, or the 7th inning, when Vanderbilt's Alonzo Jones hit a go-ahead grand slam. Excuse me, it was the 8th inning. It gave Vanderbilt a 7-4 lead over MTSU. Well, as I mentioned earlier, with the Storms hit Nashville before it hit Knoxville, obviously. And because of the inclement weather, it prompted the umps to call the game. But per regulation baseball rules, the game was reverted back to the 7th inning, which was the last completed inning, which means that Alonzo Jones' go-ahead grand slam in the top of the 8th inning did not count. So Vanderbilt, instead of winning 7-4 over MTSU, lost to MTSU 4-3 because that inning had not been completed yet, in which the grand slam was hit. So
wow.
Baseball rules, y'all get a foot.
That's crazy.
Although it's I'm happy that Vanderbilt lost. That sucks. Like, the kid hit a go-ahead grand slam in the top of the 8th, and then because of inclement weather, it reverts back to the last completed inning.
That's really interesting.
And not only do they lose, but like the kids doesn't get credit for the grand slam in his stats either.
Yeah, that sucks.
Loses a homer and 4 RBIs. So that's my for what.
Never
College
knew-
baseball rules.
Never knew that was a rule. I have a giant for what for the rules enforcers in the NHL. Last night, Nashville Predators made a miraculous comeback against the Florida Panthers. They were down by 2 goals in the final 3 minutes. Romy Josi scores an awesome goal with about 3 minutes left.
Beautiful backhand.
Makes it 2-1. And then the Predators come down. They shoot the puck with, 3 seconds left?
That's when it went in. The puck went in with 0.3 seconds
left. 0.3 seconds left, the puck went in. But with about 3 seconds left, they shoot it at Roberto Luongo, who is the goalie for the Florida Panthers. It goes in between his legs or in his glove. People aren't sure. But Victor Arvidsson, who plays for the Predators, goes up and tries to poke the puck out. And in all of that movement, the puck comes out between the legs of Luongo. And Philip Forsberg is right there to tap it into the goal with 0.43 seconds left. Totally miraculous. And a division title was on the line for the Predators.
First ever in franchise history.
First ever. Now, they can win it tomorrow night in Washington. They can also win it on Saturday night against Columbus. They have 2 more opportunities to win.
2 tough teams.
Yeah, 2 really good teams right now. But the Predators score tied in this miraculous way. The refs go over to check what everyone in the arena thinks is the time. Everyone, they're checking, did the puck go in time? 0.5 seconds left. It was that close. They needed to make sure. And how much time's left on the clocks, and we're going to set up a face-off. And the ref comes back out to mid-ice and announces that it was goalie interference on Victor Arvidsson.
And he was not interfered with.
And called off the goal. There in no way was this goalie interference. I mean, I could go into the technicalities of it, but that's boring. It wasn't goalie interference. I've watched it 10,000 times now. I'm still so unbelievably mad. Again, a division title on the line. A banner that will hang in the rafters at Bridgestone Arena was on the line. And they call goalie interference straight from Toronto, the headquarters of the NHL. They overruled at least what I heard after. Toronto, the headquarters of the NHL, overrode the refs in the arena. I think the refs were like,
good goal.
We're not seeing it. We're not seeing this interference. You can challenge for goalie interference if you are the Panthers. And they didn't. They didn't see enough. They didn't see what they thought was goalie interference. They weren't going to challenge. It was the headquarters of the NHL that said this was goalie interference.
It was that one person in all of hockey that thought it was goalie interference.
And they end up having the final say because they're the headquarters. It's complete nonsense. I am still livid about it. And if the Predators end up losing the division,
you should write an email to the league.
Now, if they win on Thursday, all is forgiven. But
even if the Preds lose in overtime last night, they clinch, right? They just needed a point, or did they need to win outright?
They would have needed to win outright.
So they needed 2 points.
Yes.
Okay, never mind.
They still need 2 points. But still.
And Winnipeg ended up winning last night.
Winnipeg cannot lose in either of their final 2 games or else the Predators win. So if Winnipeg loses, Predators win. If the Predators win either of the next 2 games, the Predators win. The chance of the Predators winning the division is still pretty high.
Still a Tennessee sports team.
But if they end up winning losing the division, folks are not going to forget this. A giant for what?
This is, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, literally the worst call I've ever seen.
It was so bad. I said it's one of the worst officiating moments I've ever seen in all of sports, and that's saying something because I watch a ton of college basketball. And college basketball officiating has been egregious for years now, and I don't know that I've ever seen anything this bad.
I mean, Luongo initiated the contact.
Yeah. Everything about it is so stupid. I don't even know where to begin. Again, like I said, I could go into the details here and like all the minutia and break down the film of exactly why it's not goalie interference, but like I was so mad, so mad. And the main thing is that it felt very similar to Tennessee winning at LSU, and then losing with Dooley, where I got up. It went in with 0.5 seconds left. I got up off my couch and I was like, yes. I scared our cats. I scared my wife.
One of your cats deserves to be scared.
Well, that's true. The jerk cat deserves to be scared. But, like, I was so hyped. They scored 0.5 seconds left to potentially win the division. They would have gone into overtime. They still had to win. And then they come back with this ruling, and it was just, it gets ripped away from you like that. It was absolutely grueling.
Yeah, the only difference is this time the Tennessee team did not break any rules.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Yeah, Dooley was wrong. Dooley had 12 men on the field.
It's just hard.
13 men.
13.
Speaking of Tennessee teams, whoever leaked the new jerseys for the Tennessee Titans,
y'all about to lose y'all
you don't get it
job.
for what? 'Cause I mean, we love it because we love to see the leaked jerseys, but you probably gonna lose your job. So
Getting investigated by the NFL.
And speaking of those jerseys, I didn't know the Titans were trying to look like the Seahawks.
Hey man, just leave the lime green out. But they have an awesome color combination they can play with. You can't go wrong, baby blue.
I don't understand what was wrong with the original jerseys.
I like the addition of silver.
Yeah,
I need to see it all put together. I think
you can't go wrong.
Charlie, you're a Titans fan. You're gonna talk yourself into liking it.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, so my for what? Y'all had your little hockey moment.
So
I'm giving my for what to media, national media, not all of them.
Dan Wilkin.
But the ones that decided that bringing up tweets from Dante DiVincenzo, did I say that right?
DiVincenzo.
When he was 14 years old, right after he won a national championship, right after he had a career day on the court.
Scored, 31 points?
So he had a career high
won
in
the
points.
national championship for his team.
Won the national championship. And
Flying up draft board.
Most valuable player in the Final Four.
Yep. We decide that we want to pull up tweets from when he was 14 years old.
14.
That's what we want to do.
And they're not good.
They're terrible.
But they're tweets from when he was 14.
He was 14 years old. He was 14 years old. So we want to piss in this young man's cornflakes at the highest point of his career? This is what we doing out here?
Every time. Every time this happens.
I just don't understand. I'm all for being woke. I'm all for being woke and paying attention to what's going on, and holding people accountable that need to be held accountable. I'm all for that. But the young man was 14 years old when he tweeted this stuff. 14 years old.
And two of those tweets, you could tell, it was a situation where the friend took the phone and tweeted something dumb. I'm not talking about the rap lyric where he dropped the N-word.
Yeah,
there are two where, the butthole and whatnot. You can tell I guarantee you one of his buddies took his phone, got on his Twitter, and tweeted that.
Yeah, 14, what are we talking about at 14? What are we doing at 14? Imagine if we had Twitter at 14 years old and we were tweeting out stuff. And then at our highest point of our careers, it's brought up. As a human, I don't understand that.
I can say Twitter was still a year away from its existence when I was 14, and thank God.
Dang, you're old.
Thank God.
I had Twitter when I was 15.
I didn't get a Twitter till I was in college. And even then, I didn't really use it. I didn't really use it until I started doing sports media.
It's just crappy.
I feel bad for him.
It's crappy, man. You can't even.
That's terrible.
You can't even really enjoy one of the best days of your life because someone wants clicks and expose a tweet or a series of tweets when you were 14. 14. What is that, 8th grade? 9th grade?
If that.
Ninth
grade, I think.
I was a sophomore when I was 14, but I was also I was a grade ahead.
You're young for your grade.
Yeah, I think I was 15.
Freshman or sophomore in high school.
What are we doing, man? What are we doing? This is why people get sick and tired of the media. This is why.
And they gotta go into the press conference, get all indignant about it.
Man.
What do you have to say about your tweet from 2011?
Bull.
Man, shut up.
Bull.
Terrible.
Villanova had to issue a statement.
Bull.
Did they really?
Yeah, and then they deleted it.
He wasn't even in the Villanova program when he sent those tweets. And because of national media members, Villanova, they have to take time away from celebrating a national championship to deal with this.
So stupid.
I think it's silly, man. They get it for what? Who's it? Is that Yahoo?
It was a lot.
Golly,
To all athletes in high school who are being recruited by somebody.
Delete your Twitter.
You can Twitter search your username and keywords at the same time. Go back and make sure you've never tweeted something stupid and delete them.
Yeah, not making excuses for Dante there. This is the lesson for all, everyone that has Twitter. Be careful what you say.
You never know when it's going to bite you in the butt.
Exactly. But, golly, can we wait a couple days? Can we wait a week? Can we wait? Not on the same night as he wins the national championship and the day after? Can we at least give the young man 24, 48 hours?
All I know is I saw a mock draft yesterday. It had the Grizzlies taking Luka Doncic at number 2 overall and then taking Dante DiVincenzo at number 32 overall. If that happens,
bring him to Memphis.
I will order me a Dante DiVincenzo Memphis Grizzlies jersey before he even signs a contract.
Mike Miller had that swag.
Dante DiVincenzo has that same swag.
Absolutely, man. He would be perfect for Memphis.
Mike Miller's looks like he's going to join Tubby's staff.
Tubby?
Yeah.
I thought he was going to join Pennies.
Pennies, yes.
Okay,
yes.
that makes more sense.
Charlie got what I was saying because he agreed. He got what yeah.
Really?
Mike Miller's not going to High Point.
Hour 3 coming up. Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
A place where you belong.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union has helped people save money for almost 80 years. Whether it's free checking, financing a vehicle, or purchasing their new home, Alcoa 10 is here to help you. Better rates, better service. Check them out at atfcu.com.
Alcoa 10 Federal Credit Union. A place where you belong.
If you suffer from the pain and discomfort of hemorrhoids, the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville has the solution. Premier offers IRC, or infrared coagulation. This is a painless, in-office laser procedure that resolves 90% of hemorrhoids. There's no cutting, stitches, or anesthesia. Only relief. Don't keep living with hemorrhoids. Call the Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center in Knoxville at 865-588-9952 and schedule a consultation. That's 865-588-9952. The Premier Hemorrhoid Treatment Center. Expertise you can trust.
If you want to chop it up with the fellas, call the Be Dry Waterproofing Hotline at 865-200-5503.
Hour 3, powered by Low T Center, lowtcenter.com. Men, do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. We can help. Man, we just rolling through the show today. I think it's been a really good show. A lot of stuff to get to. A lot of interaction, I know, with the fans, having an opinion on the autograph session. And you have that right. Doesn't mean you're not on board. Doesn't mean you're not a VFL. Doesn't mean you're not a loyal Vol fan. I think that narrative is really. I think it's lazy. I think it's lazy when people try to do that. Like, you have to agree and be a blind supporter to be labeled as a real fan. I think we've learned a lesson about that. And it's funny because I look at some of the people that during the last 2 years got on my case for criticizing what was going on. And some folks wanted to be a VFL police. And I guess they thought they were taking my VFL card away. My card.
Good luck.
My card doesn't expire. So you can kick rocks. You're not taking my VFL card. I'm going to be a VFL, and I'm going to have an opinion, and it's going to be fair, and it's going to be honest. And I'm sorry, you don't have enough clout to take mine away.
Well, and just following someone without any kind of discretion, without any kind of questioning, just leads to unchecked power. It's exactly like in politics. Like if you just said, we'll believe in everything that politicians say, and everything they say is right, and they're not sometimes terrible people. You end up with the USSR, where you just get unchecked power, and people will take advantage of that at every turn. So, you need to. It's healthy to question people who are in positions of power like that. Obviously, much lower stakes with Tennessee sports, but still, people around here, as far as some people that I've met are concerned, it's not lower stakes, really. I've never understood that kind of sentiment of like, oh, well, we need to support every single thing that they do always. Like, that's not.
You can support.
Good.
But you can support. Your support can never change, and you still just not agree with a move that is made.
Exactly.
Like you can do that. Like this, and this is how lazy and short-minded that we have become in 2018 is. You have to 100% agree with someone to like them or support them. Like it's ridiculous. Everyone has their own beliefs according to your religion. And you have other people that may believe something different that's against what you believe. That doesn't mean that you dislike that person.
Yeah.
That just means you don't agree with what they're doing, and you can still like them, you can still love them. You can still support them in other ways. You can still have your convictions while still respecting other people.
Well,
I just don't understand why people have to like be so basic and say, "Well, I don't agree with what you're doing, so I don't like you," or "I don't, I'm not going to talk to you," unless it's like OJ. If it's OJ Simpson, I don't like OJ. Damn OJ, go to hell OJ. I'm there with that. For real, I am there.
Hey,
I don't give a damn what OJ is doing, what he's saying. I don't care. But that's extreme. But if you just have a stance that I don't agree with, we still cool. I still love you. I just don't agree with one thing that you might say or feel. It's all good.
Well, and honestly, to me, someone who does question what the authority of Tennessee does is doing it out of love for Tennessee. And that's what I don't get when I hear somebody say, oh, well, if you don't agree, you're not a real VFL. No, I think they're just as much of a fan as you are. That's why they're doing this, because they want to see things be better. They want to see better for the university, and that's why they criticize it.
The blind loyalty led to leadership feeling like they can slip Schiano through the door.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's the blind leadership. I mean, the blind support, the blind fandom. That is why John Curry and Haslam's say, you know what? They're gonna like it. They're gonna be with us. They'll support us. They'll still come to the game. We know that. So yeah, let's hire Schiano. What they gonna do?
Well, this is what they're gonna do.
A petition, protest. Politicians chiming in. Oh my gosh! Oh, we didn't know they were gonna do this. All right, let's axe this idea. So, man, have an opinion. Believe in your opinion. Have convictions about your opinion, but you don't have to withdraw your support or be against something just because you don't 100% agree. I just think it's really, really, really simple and short-minded to be that way. That's just me.
Well, and like I've had. Like, I'm cordial with some of the other fan bases on Twitter. Just
Mississippi State.
Yeah, Mississippi State. I have some people follow me who are Auburn fans. I know you like that, Ben, so.
I do.
He got you.
At least Auburn can claim a national championship.
But I've had some of these other fan bases that when things happen to their sports teams and I comment on them from a third-party perspective, like specifically Auburn losing to – this happened. Auburn lost to UCF. And I like made some jokes about it. Like they
the
lost,
national champions.
They lost to freaking UCF. Like, sorry, you should have beat them. That's not my fault.
You should have beat them. Yeah.
And I had some of the Auburn fans that followed me just all up in their feelings. Just oh, you can't say anything. Tennessee's not good. And like one dude blocked me. He blocked me because I said mean things about it after following me for a really long time, and I was like,
That's a snowflake.
dude,
That's a snowflake.
what are you doing? Like, get
That's a
your
snowflake.
life in perspective.
That's a snowflake.
Like, it sucks that you lost to UCF. I get it, but man, like,
blind
we've
loyalty
had
is
really
annoying.
nice conversations on here.
Blind loyalty is annoying. It's just like I tweeted out this morning, 100% here for LeBron hating Alabama, because I am. And one of my buddies who I went to school with is a diehard Alabama fan. He's the definition of blind loyalty, especially with football, because he thinks a football program can do no wrong. He responded to me. He just responded a second ago. Let me scroll to the top of my mentions. Biggest baby in sports. He thinks the world revolves around him. I'm sorry, but the guy who donates millions upon millions upon millions of dollars to charities, schools, all sorts of different boys and girls programs, does not think the world revolves around him. Like in that situation, if LeBron was having this dispute with Auburn, with Georgia, he would love it.
I mean, exactly.
That's my point.
But at the
saying
same
that.
time, just like we're talking about, I can appreciate and respect LeBron's love for philanthropy, and also say LeBron comes off like a big old douchebag and all.
Yes, he does.
So
he comes off. LeBron, it's not the greatest look for LeBron, in my opinion. I do tend to agree with Alabama in this situation, unfortunately.
I think LeBron has a point. I don't.
Yes, I do. I mean, it's not enough to file a lawsuit, in my opinion.
I mean, you're protecting your ideas.
It's not his idea, though. He didn't come up with
but
barbershop talk.
You acted on that. It's not like you didn't come. No one came up with the word "butch" or "butch please," but I made it into something and made T-shirts, and I was protecting that. That idea.
Yeah.
I didn't come up with please. I didn't come up with butch. I didn't come up with butch please. But I actually put it in action. And LeBron was really the only one that put it in action and made a show and move forward with this idea.
Did he trademark it?
I mean,
I don't know.
That's the key.
I don't know.
If it's not trademarked, then I don't understand.
I don't
Look,
know.
I love LeBron. I stand up for LeBron all day long. But if he didn't trademark it, then I don't think he has a legit beef.
I reached out to someone yesterday that's a lawyer, and I asked him, hey, will LeBron does he have a point here? And it says, I said, who's going to win this? The response was whoever spends the most money. Ha. Probably LeBron from the little that I read about it. So if LeBron acted on his idea first, then he may have a point. But no one invented talking in the barbershop.
Well,
I've seen some of those smart comments. Hey, LeBron didn't invent talking in the barbershop. No, but LeBron was the first one to make a production about.
So I think where this is going to be lost, and I'm not a lawyer, obviously, but I did in my actual graduate journalism program, I ended up doing an entire project on copyright law, because it's a giant thing on YouTube right now where people stealing other people's content and things.
Yeah.
And I did a whole project on it, and one of the big cornerstones of it is the person you think is infringing on your copyright taking part of your market, affecting your income?
Yes.
And to me,
it's not.
Bama ain't affecting his income. Bama has nothing to do. They're not competing. These shows aren't even competing.
Yes, I had a media law test on copyright and trademark last Tuesday, and that was the number one citing of copyright infringement.
Yeah. Are you taking their money? Essentially,
are you affecting somebody's income?
Yeah.
Well, we'll see, man. We'll see what happens. It's gonna be fun.
I don't
Two
think
of the most powerful dudes in sports going at it.
Oh,
I
love it.
I'm for this face-off. This is fun.
I'm here for it, man. My popcorn is ready. Now we'll see who wins.
I'm Team LeBron simply because he's going against Alabama.
Just to strike Nick Saban. I'm
Yes.
Team LeBron too on this one.
I hope LeBron shows up to a Nick Saban press conference during the offseason, during fall camp.
And pulls a Kanye. I'm gonna let you finish, but I had the best barbershop talk of all time. 865-250-5503. Stay with us.
Hour 3 of the Swain event is brought to you by the Low T Center and LowTCenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Jason Swain here. Gentlemen, have you lost your get up and go? Low T Center can help you find it. If you've noticed a decline in energy and motivation, you may have low testosterone. Low T levels make you feel tired and grumpy. It can raise your cholesterol and cause weight gain. I got my levels tested at the Low T Center. It was quick and easy, and most health insurance is accepted. Call 865-392-1388 or go to lowtcenter.com. That's 865-392-1388.
Major store-wide savings and Better Mattress this month, plus a chance to get up to 40% off. Visit any Better Mattress to play in the March Madness Challenge. Customers get one basketball shot in store for up to 40% off select purchases. Everyone is a winner this March at Better Mattress. Get store-wide instant rebates on select purchases, including free pillows, sheets, and a mattress protector. A $300 value. Plus, take the big shot to get 40% off during the March Madness event at Better Mattress. Play in store. With 6 area locations, there is one near you. Find them on Facebook and visit bettermattress.com. Good night, just got better.
Hey, Annie, you're the spokesperson for Toyota Knoxville, right?
That's right.
Where should I buy from Toyota Knoxville?
Are you looking for new or used vehicles?
Does it matter?
No, because Toyota Knoxville has over 390 new Toyotas on the ground and over 350 pre-owned vehicles available to choose from.
Okay, so big selection.
And a lifetime warranty at no charge on all new and select pre-owned vehicles.
A lifetime warranty.
A non-factory limited lifetime powertrain warranty with unlimited miles. Plus 30 years of experience in Knoxville, not just serving our customers, serving our community.
And the buying experience?
Hello, it's Toyota Knoxville. Read the reviews. Talk to anybody that's been there.
Okay. Where am I going?
Toyota Knoxville is at I-40 and the Lover Road exit. Go to Parkside Drive. You can't miss it.
Can I tell them Annie sent me?
I wish you would. If you're passionate about the car you drive, come meet the people that are passionate about the way they sell at Toyota Knoxville. ToyotaKnoxville.com. Warranty good at participating dealers.
At some point in your life, you're going to need an attorney. You need a guy like Jared Castile with the law firm of Butler, Vines, and Babb. Jared Castile is East Tennessee born, and he understands what giving his all truly means. To Jared, every case is big and every client is important. He will aggressively push your case to make sure you are quickly paid every dollar that you deserve. Give Jared Castile a call, 865-244-3933, and talk with him directly. His office is located at 2701 Kingston Pike. So if you've been injured in a car wreck, let Jared Castile and Butler, Vines, and Babb fight for you.
For a replay of each day's Swain Event TV, like us on Facebook.
When I made the move to my own studio, I was worried about this. I was worried about that. I was worried about, hey, did I get this piece of equipment? Did I get that piece of equipment? Does that sound good? Does that not sound good? One thing I didn't have to worry about, that was office furniture, because Office Furniture Outfitters met my furniture needs. With a 50,000 square foot facility, they have East Tennessee's largest selection and are the best value for new and used office furniture. Located in Knoxville, it's easy to find everything you need for your new space, including desks, file cabinets, chairs, conference tables, and more. Office Furniture Outfitters is turnkey. They came to my place, we mapped everything out that was needed, they delivered, and get this, set everything up. To learn more about what Office Furniture Outfitters can do for you, log on to ofonox.com. That's ofonox.com. All right, Swain Event, welcome back. Fueled by Dead End Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. Let's get to Hub City Vol fan on the B-Drive Waterproofing Hotline. Hub City, good morning.
Good morning, sirs. How are y'all?
Man, we're doing
What's up?
Amazing. How are you?
I'm doing well. I was listening to the discussion of Nick Saban and LeBron, the barbershop thing, and it dawned on me. Do you know where they both probably got that idea from?
Someone else.
And who is owed money?
Someone else probably, huh?
Coming to America.
Come to America, right?
Yeah.
Arsenio Hall.
Hey, Eddie Murphy needs to get into the lawsuit.
Or Barbershop, the movie.
He needs to come to the hearing wearing the same suit he wore in Delirious and Raw. He needs to wear the leather. He needs to wear the leather one-piece suit, man.
Like Kunta Kinte.
That's what we need to do, man.
That's right.
The red one.
That's right. Man, y'all have a good day. Great show.
You too, man. All right, so this right here, I'm gonna show this without
Yeah, don't show your personal info here on the show, but
so this right here is you can't really see it on the video.
You can you get the general gist of what this is.
But this is by
a trademark,
U.S. Patent and trademark for the term "butch please" that I don't know if I'm proud of or not, but
it made you a nice chunk of change, I think.
I mean, people think that it made me a nice chunk of change. I really hooked up a lot of other people because they produced the shirts and they sent them off, and
it made somebody a chunk
yeah,
of change.
it was an opportunity for other folks to get paid, and it was a funny concept. It was cool at the beginning, and you could use it in so many different ways. So it's not just about Butch Jones, but it's a play on words, and I own that trademark. Jason Swain owns that trademark, and there's that class that I learned from going through this probably trumps any class at the university because I actually went through it. But no one here is a lawyer or attorney.
Well, I was telling you during the break. During that project, I talked to somebody who's a YouTuber. I got to interview them. I just emailed them. They let me interview them. Who had gone through a copyright lawsuit.
Yeah.
They had been sued. They're a commenter on YouTube, which means they basically make fun of people that do stupid stuff on YouTube.
Yeah.
And one of those people that they made fun of said, "Hey, you can't use my video and make fun of me. I'm going to sue you." And the commenter ended up winning because all of the onus is on the person who is doing the suing. Where that person who sues has to prove, like I said, you're taking my market, you're besmirching my character, you're in some way, taking my money or making me look bad in a way that it would affect maybe my future employment.
Yeah.
And I look at this, Alabama's not affecting Bron's future employment. Alabama's not taking LeBron's money.
Alabama. You don't know that yet because uninterrupted. I mean, it's a real business, so
it is.
I mean,
it is.
Yeah, we don't know that yet.
But LeBron would have to prove it.
Yeah, he had to prove it,
and
that's tough.
I'm also reading on this, and it says that uninterrupted has very little to do with money. It more focuses on giving those athletes that decide to work on uninterrupted a platform to share their story and whatnot.
And they're not running a nonprofit though.
I didn't say the word.
Yeah, I mean, they may not be trying to break the bank, but I mean. They have employees that have to pay.
And as we've been saying and sort of making fun of here, it's not like LeBron has a copyright over the concept of talking in a barbershop. It's somebody tweeted at us and said Rob Parker at Fox Sports 1 did it first. I looked it up, and he did. He did an entire – this was in 2016. Rob Parker did a segment on Fox Sports 1 called Barbershop Sports where he had an athlete come in. The athlete would have their haircut, and he would talk to them.
Rob Parker needs to get in on the conversation.
What did he call it? Did you say?
Barbershop Sports.
Yeah. Rob Parker would probably lose because his money is not long enough.
Yeah. Now LeBron could get some pretty awesome lawyers.
Yeah. I mean, Rob Parker was before those guys.
Yeah.
So I'm just here for the battle. I don't care who wins. Obviously, I just want to see who's going to win between two of the most powerful dudes in sports. LeBron James.
Let's go, LeBron.
That's right, man. All right, 865-255-03. Nacho says the media is the devil. I don't want to go there because
they're a good media members.
If it wasn't for the media, we wouldn't know about people doing bad things and being able to expose them and hold them accountable. If it wasn't for the media, we know nothing about Graciano before he was hired.
Yeah. Shout out to the Washington Post.
We don't know. The media holds people in power accountable. The media is important. Very important.
I mean, they are definitely in no way perfect. I mean, you get all of these accusations of media being biased. Some of these situations where it's proved
Dan
that
Wolken.
the media is biased. Dan Wolken, for example. CNN, Fox News, and you can have all of those discussions of the problems with biased news, but in general, when media is carried out in the correct way, it is an extremely useful tool.
I remember when Wes Rucker did a story on Micah Abernathy and his family legacy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's
awesome.
You don't get that without the media. You don't. And then, unfortunately, on the other side of that, you had the articles that were posted about the culture problem at Tennessee. And people hated it, but it was true. And
the guy who wrote that ultimately, I don't know all the details, but no longer has that job that he had.
Not because of that article, but because he continued
to push on that.
Yes,
that vein
unfairly, without going and looking at other programs too. Like, that's fine if you're gonna highlight Tennessee's culture issue, then go highlight other programs too. They failed to do that, and he continued to kind of push the envelope, and so that's why he's no longer employed. But the information in the article wasn't wrong, but it gave fans the truth, and nothing in the article was wrong.
Larry Nassar wouldn't be in jail right now if it weren't for the media.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I got to be careful with saying the media is a devil, but moves like what was made with Dante
DiVincenzo.
I keep forgetting his name.
Dante DiVincenzo. Yeah.
That's chicken-ish.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
That's when the media is terrible.
That's bull crap.
The media can very often be terrible.
That's like Dabo right there. That's bull crap. That's bull crap. That's bull crap.
I don't know. I'm always like I get it sometimes with like a Dan Wolken where people think that he's awful, but in sports media, I just think the stakes just aren't that high ultimately. Like political media, I get it. There is some seriously corrupt stuff going on in political media, and it should be called out just like the stuff that the media calls out. But in sports media, I don't know. I'm just here to have fun, man. I'm having a good time.
Chris from Dyer on the text box says, I think Pruitt recognizes what kind of shape our program is in and is just trying to avoid all distractions. Right now, he sees what we need to be all business and concentrate on football only. I'll take an improved product on the field over autographs every day of the week. When this team starts making strides in the right direction and starts towing the line with the competition, the PR stuff will come back around. Right now, it's work. That's all. I love it. I love it, Chris.
I would agree.
Great message.
I would bet that is what's going on.
Great message.
Yeah.
I agree 100%. And I would trade product on the field for autographs and PR stuff all day long.
Totally.
Swain Event.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
Voted Best Barbecue in City View Magazine and a top 100 barbecue restaurant in the country, Dead End is a no-brainer when you are craving the smoky flavor of quality Q. Dead End makes it easy to enjoy their fantastic menu with online ordering and local delivery with Valet Gourmet. That's right, you can have Dead End brought to you. Can't think of the spread for your next event? Get Dead End to cater it. Check them out online, deadendbbq.com. Dead End Barbecue. The search is over.
Flashing blue lights in your rearview mirror. You pull over, step out of your car, and the next thing you know, you're being arrested for driving under the influence. Now what do? We all should be responsible. But remember, just because you're arrested doesn't mean you're guilty. Call Criminal Defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza at 865-540-8300. The investigative teams at the Garza Law Firm know the justice system inside and out. They utilize cutting-edge technologies and investigative methods to prepare your specific case. Before you plead guilty to any criminal charges, call Criminal Defense and DUI attorney Marcos Garza. Put his number in your phone right now, 865-540-8300, because you never know when you or a friend will need it. Don't say guilty, say Garza. 865-540-8300, 865-540-8300, and
dropping or breaking our smartphones. See? But did you know that you can have it repaired for a fraction of the cost that it takes to replace it? Well, you can, because iDrop is the area's leading mobile repair store, home of the 1 hour or less phone repair, 1 year parts warranty, and #1 customer service. Broken screens, cracked cameras, charging ports, batteries. You break it, we'll fix it. If you didn't break your phone, protect it with one of our leading accessories such as LifeProof, OtterBox, UAG, Reciproco, Caseology, and Spec. Visit our West Hills location at 7115 Kingston Pike between Office Depot and Hardee's, or call 865-888-9740 and speak with our trained technician to see how we can get your phone working today.
Up goes your car insurance. Nobody likes surprises, so switch to Erie Rate Lock. Get a great rate that stays that way even after an accident, ticket, or inflation. In fact, it's locked until you change a car, driver, or your address.
Your Erie agent in Knoxville is InsureFit RM. Get a quote at 865-684-4900. That's 865-684-4900.
Erie Rate Lock does not guarantee continued insurance coverage. It's not available in all states.
JC's Tree and Landscaping Service specializes in quality tree work done at an affordable price. Trimming and removing trees are their specialty. They also offer other services like land clearing, stump grinding, crane services, and all of your basic landscaping needs for both commercial and residential. JC's will give you a free estimate and beat any written quote by a competitor to guarantee that you get the lowest price around. Don't risk your land with a fly-by-night service. JC's Tree and Landscaping is licensed and insured. Give them a call at 865-599-3799.
At work? Can't call in? Don't feel bad. You can talk to the guys on the text box. It's part of the free Swain Event app.
So Rashawn Golden was on SEC this morning. It is a show on Sirius XM radio, and he was asked about his time at Tennessee and the adversities that this team faced, that he faced.
Peter Burns and Marcus Spears, I believe.
Yep, and I'm pretty sure he was asked about the incident, whatever. He says, quote, "I feel like Coach Jones put his name on the program." And Rashawn's in a weird spot. He's in a weird spot. Just like Josh Rosen is in a weird spot. Like, you got to say everything that's PC. You're being evaluated. There's really no benefit to Rashawn Golden to publicly say what everyone knows about what happened. Because we can look at this roster right now. We can look at Coach Pruitt right now. And we can say, yeah, man, Coach Jones put his name on the program. But look where it is now. Like, he left it the same way they inherited it in a lot of ways. The roster's a little bit, I don't even know if it's a little bit better. I don't really know, because he inherited a damn good offensive line. A dang good offensive line. Is there one unit that we can say that is good right now as the offensive line was when Butch Jones inherited from Dooley? No. I mean, that is a discussion.
Reset that.
Is there a unit right now that is as good as a unit that Butch Jones inherited from Derek Dooley with the offensive line?
I think the quarterbacks are better.
Which, you mean,
I think JG.
Kellen Christ and JG?
JG, Chris, and Will McBride are better than Peterman and Worley.
No, I'm talking about, is there like a unit like that's better than the offensive line unit? Yeah. There's not a unit. I mean, the closest would probably be safety.
Yeah.
The closest? Because you got an NFL caliber player in Najee Warrior. You got a 3-year starter,
Micah Abernathy,
and TK, and you got Micah Abernathy,
and maybe Tyler Bird.
Yeah, I mean, safety is probably the closest thing as a game ready unit that you inherited. The offensive line was good, man, when Butch Jones got here.
Yeah.
They just didn't have any receivers on the outside. That's why we got 37 reverses a game with Pig Howard.
And a deep ball to Marquez North every game.
Yeah, you got that. And you didn't have the running back to mix with that offensive line. I mean, Rajon Neal was fast in space, but he wasn't shifty, and he couldn't make guys miss.
And Marlon Lane
he was
isn't the fastest guy on the planet.
Yeah, we call Marlon Lane, what we call him, slow lane? Call him slow lane. And he was a baller, but he just did not.
He didn't have that breakaway speed.
He did not provide that.
Yeah.
And whenever you have a guy like Marlon Lane, you have to balance Marlon Lane out with a home run hitter. Like, you got to balance him out. Like, okay, you got John Kelly. Okay, Ty Chandler. All right, you got Jalen Hurd. All right, Alvin Kamara. At least you have someone on the roster that you can balance out.
Mm-hmm.
Now, using them is a whole nother story. But you got to have someone on the roster that balance the other guy out, and we didn't have that. But Rashawn Golden is doing what he has to do, which is he got to say everything PC, man. He does. Josh Rosen, too. That's why he tweeted in response to Moore, ripping him. He just tweeted out why. You don't want to get into a PP match with anyone right now. Your focus should solely be on conditioning, getting prepared for
OTAs.
Exactly. Your rookie season.
OTAs.
Because the moment you are drafted, the moment you sign, you go to your team and you join your team, and you got to get to work. That's why I thought it was counterproductive for Shaq Wiggins to be saying what he said. Even if it wasn't that bad, where's your focus? Focus on the NFL. Don't even focus about what happened at Tennessee. The scouts know that already. So why do you care about what the fans think? The fans are not about to sign you. The fans have no bearing on your NFL future. The people that matter know. They know about what happened in Georgia. They know what happened with Louisville. They know what happened here in Tennessee. They know already.
Well,
so why are you tweeting? Why you feel like you need to tweet, whether it's good or bad? It just Rashawn Golden understands. Hey man, just keep everything positive. And we know Rashawn. We know he'll probably say something different, man, behind the scenes.
And I mean, Rashawn is great. He's been on this show, and he was awesome with us. And
take the high road.
But the thing is that after you get your money, you can say whatever you want to, man.
Alvin Kamara didn't say anything bad during this process.
And then when he got into
he stood
the
up
NFL,
for Butch.
He did.
Yeah, and then he got into the NFL, and he got that paycheck and was like, all right, let's talk for real now.
And
they were on some other ish.
I don't blame them because, and I don't blame them. It's not he's keeping it real. Listen, there's a time and place to keep it real. Yeah. There's a lot of folks in jail. There's a lot of folks broke. There's a lot of people in some bad situations because they kept it real at the wrong time. There's a time and a place to keep it real. All right. Alvin Kamara was smart.
Mm-hmm.
Alvin Kamara waited until Butch Jones and Tennessee could no longer impact his future. And when he had opportunity to keep it real, he did. He was honest. There's nothing smart or cool about keeping it real right now while you're being evaluated and costing yourself money. Why would you do that? If you're Alvin Kamara at this point last year, why would you talk about, man, I didn't get the football? I mean, y'all saw that, right? I should be this pick. Or I should be that pick. I didn't get the football. The scouts know that. They watch the film.
They have eyes.
They saw you be underutilized. You didn't have to say that. It would have made no sense. It would have been counterproductive for Alvin Kamara to come out and say, man, yeah, they didn't use me right. At the end, I was the best back. You don't have to say that.
No.
And Rashawn Golden right now is in the same position. He doesn't have to say anything negative. We know it was an issue. Yeah, Butch Jones put his name on the program. I don't know if that's a positive thing.
Right now, I think it's fair to say Rashawn's probably a 3rd, 4th round pick if he comes out and just says what he feels, he's probably a 5th or 6th, 7th round pick, especially on top of the incident in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
Like that's not going over too well. I guarantee you, if Rashawn was speaking his mind and telling what he wanted to say, his comments would be front page news everywhere.
Yeah, it will be. And you don't want to be a distraction right now.
No.
It's a time and a place. Alvin Kamara made those comments, and we talked about it one day, and it passed over. He was not a distraction because he was with the Saints. Everyone knows that about Butch Jones. It wasn't a distraction. In that time, at that moment, that was not a distraction. If Rashawn Golden would have said something in this interview, it would have been a distraction for him.
There would be teams that would cross him off the list. Just like if Alvin Kamara came out and was complaining about not getting enough carries at Tennessee last year, do you think the Saints are going to draft him when they already have Mark Ingram? And at the time, hadn't they signed Adrian Peterson?
They signed Adrian Peterson.
So at the time, they already had a loaded backfield. They're not going to go out and draft somebody that's complaining about not getting enough carries.
Like this is great stuff from Rashawn Golden. Just as a professional, taking the high road.
Yeah.
You know,
I love seeing this.
Yeah, Josh Dobbs always took the high road. Butch Jones threw Josh Dobbs under the bus, made him go out there and do his job when they lost to Vanderbilt. Josh Dobbs took the high road. He was awesome.
He's still taking the high road, even though he's been successful.
Yeah, he's still taking the high road.
Yeah.
It's been awesome. This is Rashawn Golden taking the high road. And Rashawn probably didn't get a lot of crap because he's a baller. And usually the ballers got the special treatment under Coach Jones. I think early before Rashawn Golden proved that he was valuable, maybe he got some crap. But I don't think Rashawn Golden had any problems with the coaches or Butch because he was a baller. But here's a great quote too from Rashawn Golden. Well, not a quote, but he said he didn't believe the Vols gave up on Jones last season. Really? No, they gave up. But you can't say that.
They may not have given up on Jones, but they may have given up on Brady Hoke.
But you can't. They lost 41-0 to Georgia. You don't lose like that unless you give up.
They gave up after the Florida game.
Yeah, they
knew it was over.
They gave up. But you can't keep it real there. This would be in Dave Chappelle's next sketch of when keeping it real goes wrong. There's a time and a place to keep it real.
Now is not the time.
There's a time and a place to keep it real. And for Rashawn Golden, that ain't right now. Keep it real when you get your money. Get your money, and then you can keep it real if you want to.
My buddy texted me. He goes to Alabama, and he said, "I'm watching Swain. Is this Shop Talk?" And then he said, "I wonder if Butch will be on the next episode of Shop Talk at Alabama. Get those flat tops in the barbershop going."
All right, let's do it. Let's do Shop Talk next segment. Let's do
That's why Nick Saban brought in Butch, so he can give the players flat tops.
Well, let's do Shop Talk next segment.
Okay.
I got you, man.
Shop Talk next segment coming up.
Let's do it. Coming up next, Swain Event.
Hour 3 of the Swain Event is brought to you by the Low T Center and lowtcenter.com. Do you know your numbers? Feel like you again. Let us help.
There is a 20% chance of showers today with a high near 56 and a low around 32. Tomorrow looks to be sunny with a high near 63 and a low around 45. Friday, the 20% returns with a high near 63. Weather on the Swain Event is brought to you by B-Dry. If your basement is wet or cracked, B-Dry can help. BDry.com.
Do you have cracks in your foundation? A wet basement or a nasty, leaky crawl space? Our listeners have heard about them on the Swain Event for over a year, and now it's time to make the call. Give B-Dry Waterproofing and Foundation Repair the opportunity to fix your home's problem. Since 1958, that's right, nearly 60 years, B-Dry has been solving basement, crawl space, and foundation problems throughout the country. B-Dry only uses high-quality materials from reputable manufacturers. They back their installations with some of the best warranties in the industry to provide homeowners with added peace of mind. They are truly an A-plus company. Whenever you start experiencing a wet basement, leaky crawl space, or a cracked foundation, remember these 3 words. Better call B-Dry. Reach out to B-Dry today at 865-662-5238 to schedule your free appointment. That's 865-662-5238. Remember, better call B-Dry. By now, you know that Mooyah has the best burgers in Knoxville. Their beef is never frozen, they have all-natural turkey burgers and black bean veggie burgers, not to mention they make their buns in-house every day. But now, you can also get 100% all-beef hot dogs or, wait for it, all-natural chicken sandwiches. Trust me, these chicken sandwiches put chicken restaurants to shame. So stop into Mooyah and taste the difference. Located at 7301 Kingston Pike, right by Better Mattress.
Craving homemade flavors that don't take hours in the kitchen? Mrs. Grissom's cheese spreads and chicken salads are the perfect go-to. Ready-to-eat meals and snacks found in the meat or dairy section at the grocery store with flavors of home in every bite. Whether you crave the classic Mrs. Grissom's pimento cheese or the gold gluten-free select cranberry pecan chicken salad, enjoy the sweet taste of a home-cooked meal in every container. Select the best. Select Mrs. Grissom.
VFL's Jason Swain and Todd Kelly with another update on Smoothie King, the healthy alternative to fast food. Fitness blends, slim blends, wellness blends, and take a break blends are all on the menu at Smoothie King. In addition, we now have the delicious and nutritious coffee smoothies that will jumpstart your day and keep you running when you need an afternoon pick-me-up.
Swain, Smoothie King has been the place I can count on for a healthy meal or snack since 1999. They truly are a healthy alternative to fast food. My go-to smoothies are still the chocolate gladiator and the chocolate shredder with the scoop of peanut butter. Smoothie King definitely helps me keep up the demands of work and a busy lifestyle.
Man, I hear you, TK. I got to stay in shape to keep up with my growing family and all that they're doing. Smoothie King helps me stay energized and ready to meet whatever the day brings. Make the Sip by Sip program part of your life. Use Smoothie King as a meal replacement 5 or more times a week, and you'll notice the difference.
Swain, you and Smoothie King are both legit. We need to get to Smoothie King right now, Swaino. I need a chocolate gladiator with some peanut butter, and I can truly say I'm a Smoothie King for life.
Smoothie King, delicious and nutritious, the healthy alternative to fast food.
Don't forget the peanut butter.
Insects are not the only pests that can get into your house. Squirrels, possums, skunks, and raccoons can find their way into your home and become a nuisance. That's why Southeast Pest Control now offers wildlife service. They will humanely trap the animals and relocate them, including reptiles and even birds. They are available 24/7, and most estimates and inspections during regular business hours are free. If the animal has damaged your home, Southeast Pest Control provides repair and will also provide exclusionary work to prevent animal re-entry. So if you hear scurrying in the attic, don't wait until you smell it. Call Southeast Pest Control at 865-925-3700 or find them online at southeasttermite.com.
If you've ever had surgery, you may have experienced sticker shock when you received all of your bills. There's one for the surgeon, one for the facilities, one for anesthesia. The list goes on, and it can be totally overwhelming. Thankfully, Premier Surgical Associates offers a different way. Premier offers packages for laparoscopic gallbladder and select hernia procedures performed at the Premier Surgery Center on Paper Mill Drive. It's one price, one bill.
All right, guys. Let's hope we don't get in trouble by LeBron. From LeBron. We got shop talk here in the Swain event. Got my clippers right here. All right, guys. Who's first?
Not me.
I think I'm good. I'm going to keep this hat on.
Ben, you losing half of it anyways.
I know.
Let's go ahead and take care of the rest.
Do you have anything that's going to promote hair growth instead of taking away hair?
Nah, man.
I don't know. We don't have what is that called? A apron, a smock,
an apron,
I
whatever.
can vacuum in here.
That catches all that hair.
It's all good.
You ever used a Flowbee?
Is that the one you
You connect it to a vacuum cleaner.
Oh
and
no,
it
man!
Sucks up all the hair that you cut into the vacuum cleaner.
Oh no, that's I haven't seen that. I need that.
That has been my father's mode of cutting his hair. And the man, you know, he does all right for himself. He doesn't need to do that. He could afford a $15 haircut. I'll put it that way. And
ballin'.
Yeah, he's got the big bucks to get that $15 haircut. But no, he does it for free in the laundry room of their house, and has always, as far as I know, since the Flowbee has existed.
That's what I do, man. That's what I do. Actually, I'm gonna do it right now since it's it's shop talk. You know, get your hair cut, talk about sports.
LeBron, please, man. I'm just joking, man.
Don't sue us.
I ain't got no money, LeBron. I'm broke. I'm broke, LeBron, please.
LeBron James.
All right, let's go to Turkey Man, and I'm gonna hook up my hair, man. Shave my hair a little bit.
Good morning, guys. How many's in front of me there this morning?
Hey, what's up, Turkey Man, man?
How many's in front of me there this morning? I need to get my ears lowered this morning.
It's just me, man. I'm just me.
Yeah, just one.
Just me. I'm
Just
doing
one?
my own right now, man.
Let me get up the chair then. Hey.
Oh, look at that hair.
I'll cut your hair, Turkey Man.
Yeah, cut it low here on the sides, and just leave me a little bit on top so my wife can pet it. You know, turn it over there.
So my wife can
Yeah, just
Stop being
a little
nasty,
bit,
Turkey Man.
Just kind of.
Do you want me to hook you up with the Butch Jones? Take it all off the sides, leave it high on the top.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. You got any of that Butch stuff to push up there?
I got you.
You know. Yeah, you got okay. Hey, you remember that stuff that they used to make it stay up in front on them flat tops?
Yeah, I think that would be called what? Hair gel?
Yeah, you got any on the shelf? You got any on the shelf?
No, I don't think brothers use hair gel like that, Turkey Man.
No,
they don't use that.
You're not spiking your hair up?
No, they don't use that, man.
We've got some brushes.
We got some brushes
Hey.
there. We'll brush it down flat for you.
Yeah, okay. Hey, did you see the news there last night where the woman tased her son to get him up and go to church?
Yeah, I saw that. That's something that would probably happen to me when I was younger if I didn't want to go to church because I was going to church.
Yeah, but then he called the law on her and she went to jail.
What an embarrassing situation.
Yikes.
Yeah, and then she quoted scripture, says to honor thy father and mother, that your days on this world will be longer. You're shortening it. She said.
She brought you in this world. She can take
She
you
can
out.
take you out, yeah.
Yeah, I think she tried. I think she tried.
Hey, cut it just a little bit right there. You missed a spot.
Okay, I got you. All right.
Got it. Yeah, right there.
That'll be $15.99, Turkey Man.
And well, I ain't through. He got the back yet.
Oh.
Gosh, you ain't let me out of here yet. I gotta get my $10 worth.
Go ahead, Turkey Man. What else you got, man?
Hey, did you hear where we're not gonna have no music in practice? And he says I didn't have no. What, you don't have music in games?
No, I love it.
Yeah, I love that too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I mean, music and warm-ups is one thing, but music while you're giving direction.
Music makes you lose control.
It does make you lose
For
control.
what, he said. What's that, he says. Yeah, I love it. Hey, before I go out of the shop there, and here's your $10 there, guys. They did a good job. They'll hold me there for a day or two. Yeah, hit. There you go.
All right, Turkey Man.
When I'd leave the old barber shop there at home when I was a boy, and one day I left my hat hanging on the peg, and walked back in. I said, "Excuse me, there, guys. You could finish talking about me when I get my hat. I forgot my hat." And I walked out, and he just looked at me because the guy that left the barber shop was the guy that got discussion started when he left. So you remember that when you leave the barber shop, usually they say, "Oh, you know Swain, you know Ben." Hey, well, did you know about his folks, sir? Oh my gosh!
All right, Turkey Man. All right, Turkey Man. Have a good one, man. Turkey Man's excited. I don't know what he's talking.
He was on something this morning.
Yeah, he's on something. Look at that. Y'all next?
For anyone who is just listening, Swain is
Legitimately
actually
cutting his hair. Although he didn't have much to cut. Shave that beard while you're at it. Really cut that off.
I ain't touching that right now. I need to be in the mirror to do that. I don't got to be in the mirror to do this part. This is easy, man. My cordless clippers.
You're going to have hair all over the floor. Messing up the new studio, Swain.
They make these things called vacuum cleaners.
I've never seen you use one, so.
Yeah, I do it usually when you guys are not here.
When your daughters are home?
No.
Yeah, you got kids for the vacuuming, man.
No.
That's what they're here for.
No, they don't do it, man.
So my mom always told me.
A couple of them are a little too small to do that, so.
No, actually, they do it. You know what they do? They push a button. They push the button on a Roomba. And the Roomba does it for them. So, if you have a bunch of kids, you understand what I'm talking about with a Roomba. A Roomba saves you so much time.
Yeah.
Okay, Ben. So a Roomba is a robot vacuum cleaner. So it vacuums by itself.
Your mom will know what I'm talking about.
I don't believe this. Does it work efficiently?
Yeah. It's
yeah.
awesome.
Oh, yeah. We have a Roomba too. It's nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it like the little disc thing you set on the floor and you just press the button and it goes?
That's a Roomba.
But how does it know where to go?
It has sensors.
It's a robot.
Mm-hmm.
Robots really are taking over our world.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Indeed.
So they do vacuum. They push a button. I bring it in here and make sure all the cords are up off the floor. And
Yeah, there's one that mops too.
That's That's what Butch does at Alabama. He sweeps and vacuums the barbershop
He's
floors.
a Roomba button pusher.
He's a human Roomba.
Yeah.
A Boomba.
That's him. that is loud, man. LeBron, man, please, man, don't sue me, man, please.
Just sue Butch.
Just don't. Come on, man, please. I was just joking.
Can we talk about this on the way out? And
No.
on a positive note, this is a baller tweet from Rob Lanier right here, assistant coach for Rick Barnes. It is a picture of if you ever gotten sized for a ring, it's a picture of one of those things that a ring of a bunch of rings.
Yeah.
And you're getting sized for a ring, and then he said, "SEC champs has a nice ring to it."
Ooh, now be looking for those natty rings next year.
That's a baller tweet.
SEC championship this year. Let's go for a.
Speaking of rings, I
Go for
know
the big one next year.
I know y'all aren't big baseball guys, but did you see the Astros World Series ring?
Oh,
I'm not
massive.
exaggerating when I say the best championship ring I've ever seen.
I did not see it.
It is absolutely beautiful. I mean, I don't want to describe it because I don't know the technical diamond terms, but it's like clear, crystal clear.
Just say it was blinged out.
It was blinged out.
There you go.
It's the freshest one I've ever seen.
And on the inside, it has the listing.
Let's not bring. We don't have to bring that up. We don't have to bring up old stuff, Charlie.
Of all the series where they beat the Red Sox, they beat the Dodgers for the series.
Why turn the music up, man?
And they beat the
Yankees.
The Yankees.
They beat the Yankees
4-3.
How being gonna bring it up and then not want to?
talk about it.
Yeah, man.
We didn't have to discuss the details.
Hey, you brought it up.
At least y'all made the playoffs, man.
I know. When's the last time the Braves or the White Sox made the playoffs?
The Braves.
Oh, you're a Rangers fan.
Yeah.
Hey, man.
Rangers made the playoffs 2 years ago.
I'm still hanging on the 2005 World Series championship. All right.
The White Sox are going to be good here in a couple years. They've got one of the best farm systems in all of baseball.
Hey, and there's a Vol on the team, so I'm good, man. Southsiders, Southside.
There's not only a Vol but a Farragut kid on the team too, Nicky Delmonico.
Let's go. White Sox, baby. Yeah, I know all about them. LeBron, for real, man. Don't sue us, man.
Please.
Don't sue.
Look, I'm a broke college kid. I don't have any money to fork up.
I ain't have no time to cut my hair after the show.
I can give you some ramen. That's
So
about
we
it.
just decided to cut it during the show. And we just talking about sports, man. Come on, LeBron, please, man. I'm a fan.
What if LeBron called in? That'd be pretty cool. Like if he miraculously saw our tweet.
Yeah,
and was like,
this is LeBron. I'll be damned if I let anybody.
I'll be damned if I let y'all steal my idea. It'd be like Mike
Come on,
Vick.
LeBron. I'm woke with you, LeBron. Let's be awake together. Come on, man. Don't sue me, please. I'm broke.
I can give him some ramen. That's about it.
Broke. I'm broke, LeBron. Leave me alone. Distract Nick Saban.
Yes, please.
Distract Nick Saban.
Ask
please.
him about his quarterback battle and ask him about the shop talk.
Please.
And about Butch.
Distract Nick Saban.
We
on your side, LeBron.
They have a lot of distractions when you think about it. Everybody's asking them about Tua and Jalen Hurts and Tua's thumb. Everybody's asking them about intern Butch. Everybody's asking them about LeBron James. Jeez.
Hey.
Meanwhile, we can't even get Jeremy Pruitt to mention
Just somebody by name.
We on your side, LeBron. Just distract Nick Saban, please. Just distract him, man. All right, Swain Event. That's our time for today. Fueled by Daddy and Barbecue, top 100 barbecue restaurant in America. For Ben McKee, Charlie Burris, I'm Jason Swain. Have a great Wednesday. Peace and love.